Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to more ReZero content finally on the channel. We are getting so close to Season 2 now. This is the last video that I will be doing for ReZero before starting Season 2. And within this video, as you can see from probably the title, I'm checking out the break time shorts, the Petite time shorts, and I'll maybe host a little Q&A for anyone who has any questions, and I'll give my thoughts on season 1 as a whole at the end. I don't know if I'll include like OVA thoughts and stuff as well within that, maybe just the series itself. Give a little rating, anything else you guys want, just let me know, and yeah, I'll answer as best I can in the comments or anything like that. And yeah, this is going to be a good fun video. I'm really excited for this because I have been itching to get to season 2 for a while now, and I got sick a week or two ago, and that kind of put a huge delay on things. So now we're back on track. We're going to get into season 2, and yeah, I don't know what to expect from that, but this break time video I hope will, be a nice little bonus before we do get to that. Some of you guys did tell me back in the early days of ReZero that these break time shorts kind of answered some of the questions that I did have while I was watching the series, and some of those questions that weren't necessarily answered within the series itself, but were within the light novel series. So I guess that means that they kind of use these break times as a way to answer some of those things that they didn't have time to include in the episodes themselves. So yeah, this is going to be good fun. We're going to learn more information about the world. I love the lore, I love the world, I love the characters, and I'm so excited to see them again in this little chibi-fied version. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I'm ready now to dive into this video, so here we go. ReZero, break time shorts, and petite time shorts. Let's go. Alright, here we go. We'll check out the first break time from Zero. Okay, actually, we're gonna put on subtitles. Wait, subtitles are on. I'm guessing what he's saying is what's on the screen right now. Oh shit! That little like old school gaming thing. He certainly is a strange guy. Wow, this is really taking me back. Light novels, yes. You know all about that, don't you? Extraordinary things happen to ordinary people. That's true. Apple, close enough. Yep. What are the names of other fruits? It's close. Oh shit, look at them. It's so silly. What is that? Pepper? Pepple? What is an orange called, like an Orago or something? I don't know. Pepples. She doesn't like her veggies? But not the green devils. What's wrong with the peppers? Is it because they're hot? But they're not even hot, are they? You're doing great. Yep, she's back to her yapping ways. Throwback to old school. What? You hate peppers too? Turnips? What's wrong with turnip? Nah. I mean, I may be a little disappointed because I like my veggies. Come on, Puck. I'm a guy who likes a veg. Yeah, I'm not a fruit guy, I'm a veggies guy. I will eat veggies every day of the week. When it comes to fruit, like, I like fruit flavored things sometimes. I don't like mango, I don't like any kind of like exotic kind of citrusy stuff really. Well, I like oranges. I don't know. They just have a a taste that isn't what I'm used to. I'm used to very bland foods, which is probably why I'm more into vegetables than fruits. You know, coming from Ireland and everything, I grew up with just vegetables, and then maybe a thing of meat on the side. So like a very plain taste palette. So yeah, vegetables are my bread and butter, honestly. I'm probably gonna make potatoes and cauliflower and broccoli for my dinner today. But yeah, I know that that's not for everyone. When you were young, you believe pepper was like hot like chili pepper. Anytime, like when you're a child, you hear like the characters in cartoons or whatever, like gonna eat a pepper, and then their mouth starts burning. Like they don't really distinguish anything. It's just a pepper. So yeah, it's really confusing as a child, especially when you also have like seasoning called pepper. Like they certainly don't make things easy for kids to understand. But yeah, this was a really funny little break time short. I guess back to, you know, my dislike of fruit. Bananas, I hate bananas so much. The smell of them, the texture of them, everything about bananas just makes my stomach turn. And I used to work in a fruit and veg department in a grocery store, so I had to handle bananas multiple times a day every day that I was working there. And oh, I would just like smell bananas all day, and it was awful. Maybe I'm the only one who has such a strong disliking for bananas, but me and bananas, we do not get along. I believe I did ask at one point, I don't know if it was episode 1, 2, 3, whatever, I did ask like if we would learn the names of any of the other fruits or anything like that. Granted, we didn't learn the name of a fruit, we learned the name of a pepper. I don't think a pepper is a fruit. I think it's a vegetable, though I could be wrong. I don't know if it grows from like a bush or something. I don't know how it grows, but regardless, I'm glad that we got to learn that it's basically every fruit, veg, whatever kind of is very similar in name but different. That's a really nice insight into the series, because the series didn't really tell us that. It just told us appa, and that was it. So yeah, this was a nice little insight, a nice little piece of information. I hope that we learn more as the series goes on, and it's not just appas and pepples. Like, what do we think melons would be? Like melas. Grapes would be greats. I don't know. I'm gonna stop my yapping, and I will get ready to move on to the second break time. Let's go. Bell pepper grows on a bush vine. So is it a fruit then? It's a veg? But I thought like things that grow on like bushes and stuff are fruit. No? This is all too much for me. Someone's gonna have to like explain to me how these things work. I didn't expect a lesson in what makes a fruit and a veg today, but yeah, I'm here for it. You gotta learn something new every day to keep the brain from getting too old, right? Once you get up there in age, it's you gotta keep it working. Zero starting break time from 0. World 1-4. 4 lives. It's nice seeing Feld again. It's been a while. Little girls, what makes you say that? Older ladies, okay, Zine. Kitten? Why are you being so creepy, Subaru? Yeah, she doesn't like us, so don't do it. We're taking the long way? Did she want to spend time with us? Oh, she didn't trust us. Okay, that makes sense. Need to go to the loot house, get the insignia, and die to Elsa all over again. Much appreciated, Fel. Amelia's gonna die! Yep. You understand the concept of time? Tell us! Daylight and day dark. Okay.
今は陽日の10時だ。わかったか？
10 daylight.
全然わかんねえよ。だいたい時計ってこの世界あるのか？
時計？魔国結晶のことか？
Magic time
これが時
crystals.
計代わり？
時間帯によって変化すんだよ。陽日の0時から6時までは風の国。そこから6時間
Oh
刻
my
みで火の
goodness, this
国。
is
明日0時
confusing.
からが水の国と地の国。
They made the Google Chrome logo.
風の国は緑、火なら赤。
ああ、なんとなくわかったからもういいよ。
But you don't know the exact time, it just tells you a 6-hour window.
俺が一度にそこまで覚えられるわけねえしな。サンキュー。
Day dark is such an interesting way of putting
つ
that.
もりだぜ。
兄ちゃんは強く生きすぎだ
You
な。
live too strong.
褒めてる？
さあ
Wow, we need more felt. I can't wait to see more felt in like season 2 and beyond. This is a lot to just like dump in the last like 20 seconds of this breakdown. This kind of needed to be explained across the whole 2 minutes, not the last 20 seconds. The 4 lives he died, or is it the episode from ReZero? This is episode 2, I believe. So yeah, that's why I'm wondering, like, if once he loses those 4 lives, if something else is going to happen. I don't know. I guess it's like giving him 4 lives in each world, and this is world 1 because this is where he starts off, and then world 2 would be Roswell's mansion, so I wonder if he'll get lives back there or something like that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be trying to pay attention to that as we go on. I didn't quite catch what it said in the first break time, how many lives or anything like that. Learning how time works here is pretty cool because it's not something we really question. We just kind of assume that it's going to be the same as what we have. But if there's one thing these break times the past 2 have really been showing us, it's that everything is the same. Well, not the exact same, but very similar, but slightly different. And that's cool because it gives this world a fresh feel. It gives it its own unique feeling because it's not like we're just associating exactly what we know. We have to take what we know and put a Lagunica spin on it, and I think that's really cool because now we know about the 12-hour cycles, well, 24-hour cycles really, but you know, the 12 hours of daylight and then the 12 hours of day dark, which I think is pretty cool because yeah, light and dark are literal opposites of each other, and if this world is going to be very literal about things like that, then yeah, it would be daylight and day dark. Like I said, I cannot wait to see more felt. I cannot wait to learn more about this. I feel like I said it a bunch during certain episodes, you know, like when Roswell would show up, I was like, wow, he's just summoned forth Google Chrome. This is literally the Google Chrome logo right here. I say literally, it's not literally, but it's pretty much it, right? Like, it's maybe the same color order and stuff like that. So we've got wind. I think it was wind first, right? So magic time crystals tell you the first 6 hours you determined by the green, which is wind, and then the next 6 are fire, and then the next 6 are water, and the last 6 are earth. Interesting that it's earth and not like some sort of lightning with it being yellow. I guess those are the 4 main sources of magic and stuff like that. I know that was kind of told to us by Puck a long time ago, back when Puck was explaining the way magic works in this world, but that was so long ago that you'll have to forgive me for not having a complete perfect memory of it. But yeah, no, this was again yet another really nice insight, another little funny moment, getting to see that yes, Felt didn't exactly trust Subaru right away because yeah, it's not expected that Felt would just immediately take Subaru, someone that she doesn't know or trust whatsoever, to the place where she hides all her treasures and someone that she loves and cares for is there with old man Rom. It makes a lot of sense that she would try to learn more about us, and this is a nice way of learning that without the series telling us that, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next one, number 3. All right, let's check out number 3. One life. Okay, so we're at Roswell's mansion now. So this is the episode where he wakes up, I imagine. Huh. Oh, Elsa. I bet it was cool. Divine protections. Shazam! Wait, I need to go back and see what that said. Protection from arrows? Huh. Interesting. Well, you don't know about that.
歴代の牽制の事例からするとありえるかなって。あと砂糖と塩を間違わないとか。それ私も欲しい。
That would be funny.
ミアの間違えた顔は面白いからその過去はなくてもいい。
Damn. How do you mix them up? Does one shaker not say salt and the other sugar? That boy super did a great job. That boy.
そうなの。いきなり助けてもらってお礼は何でもするって言ったのに名前教えてくれって。
Aww.
かっこいい。
Takes me back.
それがスバルの国で特別な意味があるのかなってちょっと思っちゃった。君に必死だったの。
That's just a tracksuit.
あとミナララ狩りのエルザだっけ。あの子にすごい怒ってるのも感じた。
He's really mad at her.
最初にエルザが君に襲いかかった時あの子は
Was she the bile hunter or something? He knew.
知り合い？まさか君とどれだけずっといると思ってるんだい？
This is true now that we have seen the OVAs. We know how long he's been with her. Well, not exactly how long, but it has been a long time.
ただ旗から見て怪しいのは仕方ないね。
Can we trust him?
それはあの子。夏木スバルに証明してもらうだけだよ。
This is true. And he spent the whole season trying to do that. Oh, you'll protect him. Oh, you will get rid of him for sure. That's foreshadowing. But he means it, Amelia. So cute. Wow. Yeah, foreshadowing yet again. Let me go back and see what they actually say. The enemy threw swords at him, but they were all diverted away from him. I don't actually recall that. I don't remember seeing anything like that. Granted, it's been a very long time since I saw episode 3, but that's really interesting. I wonder if that's just one little insight into something that Reinhardt can do, but I can't imagine that's all. I like Puck and Amelia kind of speculate here, there has to be more. There surely are more divine protections. There surely are more things that he's capable of doing. And I really hope that it doesn't take forever to learn more about that. It doesn't take forever to see that. I know that when I checked out the season 3 opening a long time ago, it showed Reinhardt within that opening. So I hope it doesn't take until season 3 to see him again, to see what he can do, see what he's capable of. Because Reinhardt is such an interesting character, one that we know very little about, and being from a long line of swordmasters and knowing what we know about Wilhelm and Theresia, I need to know more about this long line of master swordsmen. Like, where does it track back to? Is there some sort of deal that was made with like the dragon or something, some sort of pact? Is there something that gives them the power that they have? Is it simply the family name? Is there something that you can track this all back to? Like, that's a huge mystery that I am invested in and want to know more about, because the way that the series is kind of depicted, it doesn't really give us any answers as to whether or not there is some sort of thing that goes back to a certain point in time. It just kind of seems like it's a family trait. At least that's how it seems. Yeah, we don't know more than that, so it's going to be really interesting to actually learn more about that. It happened in episode 3, but it's easy to miss if you aren't looking for it. Ah, okay. Because I feel like I do remember her throwing her swords at him, but I thought it was kind of just like, yeah, I guess they kind of curve away if I'm remembering correctly. But at the same time, I probably didn't really question it. I love learning more about these characters, and I think that the way these break times are kind of telling us more without necessarily like spoiling huge things, I think that's really cool, because this is probably like the sort of thing you would notice, but like it's not something you would think too hard about, and that's probably what happened here. Like I'd be interested in going back and checking out my episode 3 reaction now to see if I did kind of like, oh, huh, that's weird, or anything like that, because yeah, that happened and I never thought about it again until now. It would be a good idea to watch. It would have been a good idea to watch these break times as I was watching the episodes, because moments like these are kind of like really proving that I don't like necessarily remember everything. I remember a lot. I think that I'm pretty proud that I have remembered as much as I have, you know, going back to episode 1 all the way to now and everything. But you know, certain little details like that I've forgotten. Like there's probably stuff about Felt I've forgotten. There's probably stuff about Elsa and everything like that. Like there's certainly stuff I've forgotten about, and when that's brought up again in the future, I'll probably be asking questions and you guys will probably be telling me in the questions, oh, that calls back to this and stuff like that. So that's going to be fun. And to be honest, how OP is Reinhardt is something most people learn from looking at his character's sheet list of divine protections, cut content videos, etc., not from the main series. Really interesting. I know that he shows up in opening 3, so I'm hoping that doesn't mean that he doesn't really have much of a role until season 3. That's kind of my worry, because he's a really fun character and he's a really interesting character, and another character, like there's a few characters I really need to see more of. The probably top of my list is Julius or Julius. I really love his character, and the way Subaru and Julius went off on Betelgeuse, that was peak, and I need more of that. But that's not really related to this break time at all. I guess we get also some nice little moments where Emilia and Puck are talking about Subaru, and yeah, it's nice to see that they do talk about him, because they don't know if they can trust him and everything like that, and Emilia really expresses that, and it's Puck who's kind of like, well, give him a chance, let him prove himself to you, and if he doesn't, if he messes things up, I'll take care of him. And yeah, that's exactly what Puck ends up doing. Emilia ends up dying. I don't know if you can really blame Subaru for Emilia's death in episode 15, but certainly 16, is it? I can't remember, but there is a death later on where Subaru is responsible. Kind of crazy that we get these little moments of foreshadowing that really just come across very innocent unless you know. So yeah, Puck threatening, scary, but also adorable. I think that's part of Puck's charm. But yeah, we're going to check out the 4th one now. I'm going to take a sip of water. I implore you guys to do the same. Break time number 4. Different character every time. Was that Ram and Ram? World 2 1 1 life. That was totally delicious. That the other does, yeah. Yep. But if Ram was to make it, it would be pretty good too, right? Oh, really? Calm? Really? I feel like I've never noticed that before. Maybe I did remember that. I don't remember. Balsu is totally... Yeah. You've already done the frog. It definitely means nothing, yeah. Ram, you're... Yeah, why should we be nice to you? Ramchi. But you like it. Damn, a failure? You're the one standing around here talking. We're all talking. It takes 3 to have a 3-way conversation. It's going to take a lot for you to be useful here. Oh, there's the pose and
まさに
chibi.
粉骨あれして
You'll bust your what?
それして
Your chops.
なー
That's funny.
今の接触に性的ないやらしさを感じたわ。
あれで
Sexual indecency. What the hell, Subaru? I love hearing Ram's voice. Ram's voice is so adorable and cute. Do I like Ram or Amelia? Who do I prefer as a character? Ram. And that's probably because we spend a lot more time with her. But I'm not like team Ram and Subaru or anything like that. I'm not, for the most part, I'm not someone who really cares about shipping. I feel like the series is very explicitly been telling us that this whole story has been about Subaru and Amelia from the very beginning, so that's why I'm not like super upset or annoyed by episode 16, was it, when there's the two-way conversation that happens almost the entire episode. But which character do I prefer? At least right now in season 1, easily Ram. Probably because Ram has had a lot more time and a lot more focus. I feel like Amelia at this point is still very mysterious. Granted, I have seen the OVA, so I know a little more about her, but I feel like that was just like a little sprinkle. It didn't give us much. It just kind of gave us that insight that she was living in the forest, a little bit about her relationship with Puck, and little teases about the elves that are frozen, and also her being in an ice crystal, an ice sculpture thing that she broke out of, and that's when she met Puck. Like, you know, there were little teases, but not quite enough to boost her higher in my character rankings, really, because especially if it's between Ram and Amelia, I really do think that Ram's writing was incredible. She went from being a character that I was terrified of and I was worried about and I was scared of, and yeah, I just couldn't trust, all the way to being one of the best written characters in the entire series. And yeah, I love her relationship with Subaru a lot, and I think as well as that, you know, the fact that she's got such a great relationship with Subaru at this point, going back to a point like this within this break time and seeing the way she doesn't really act how we expect her to, how we know she acts now, especially alongside her sister, who's very stubborn. She's very hard-headed. It's very funny going back to this point because yeah, it's really just taking me back. And I guess I forgot about the whole con thing, or like her doing this. That's not something I recall. It's not something I feel like I see her do much, because Ram says that it's something Rem does often when she feels happy or something like that. I guess I'll need to go back again and just like look through older points within the series, because this is really yet again insightful that these are little things that are not super world changing, not super important, but they're cool to know. Like, it's little pieces of information and trivia that really just help to bolster the world building, bolster the characters, and just like make everything more full, make everything feel more complete. And like, there's nothing that hasn't been thought about, all the way to like hand gestures to indicate that you're happy and everything. Like, just everything has been thought out. Everything is so clearly relevant, and yeah, I love learning more about this and the world building in this series and everything. It's a truly special series. ReZero is so fun, and it's really interesting as well, like after finishing Steins Gate, knowing that they went on to do this after White Fox, because yeah, there's some similarities between the two for sure, the two series, but it's really hard to compare them at the same time. And I really do think that White Fox was like the perfect studio to adapt this, and I'm so glad that this series is as good as it is. I love learning more about this, and as well as that, I was hoping that Ram here and Subaru would explain the names that they give for each other, you know, Barasu and Ramchi. I understand because someone explained it in a comment a long time ago, so I can't remember who it was, my apologies, that Barasu is literally taking the letters of Subaru and rearranging them. I thought that she was literally calling him balls. Like, that was honestly what I thought for the longest time. I thought that she was calling him balls. And I thought that shit was so funny. The name for Ramchi, I don't really know what that means. I don't know what the chi prefix or whatever that would be called, you know, like indicates when you use it for a person, you know, like san or chan or something like that. I don't know what chi is kind of used to indicate, whether it's someone that you respect or not. I don't know. Another really fun little break time short, and yeah, I'm excited to keep continuing with these because they have been so insightful so far. Understandable, it's just true that in arc 2 and 3 Amelia lacks feats because we don't spend enough time with her, and it doesn't help that a couple of her scenes in the novels were cut from the anime. Really, that's a shame, because being the main heroine, being the main girl for Subaru, like, you would kind of expect that nothing would be cut, like there'd be no cut content for her character specifically. But yeah, that's really interesting. Thank you for letting me know. Maybe at one point I will actually consider checking out the light novels. It'd be pretty difficult for me because I haven't read like a novel in a very long time, like since I was in school. Like, I know I read manga and stuff these days quite a bit, but like, that's easy to read because you can literally see exactly what's happening. It's like illustrated novels. So if I was to read the light novels, it might be like jarring for me. Yeah, it's definitely something I might consider in the future. Are they on Audible or anything like that, or is there a way to like do an audio recording and stuff? Chi for Japanese name suffix. Oh, suffix. I said prefix. Thank you. Is cuter and shorter way than Chan. That's what Google said. Not sure if it's right. Yeah, but that makes sense because Chi Chan, like, it does sound very close. My knowledge of the word Chi, Ki, Chai, Chi, whatever, mostly comes from Kingdom Hearts, and that's that's completely different. I guess I would be worried to read the light novels in case there are some things that are being held off for the future, and if the light novels were to kind of give that stuff away, because, you know, I am really enjoying watching the anime. Maybe it's the sort of thing that once I get caught up with the anime, I would go back and read the light novels. Like, who knows? Let's check out the next break time from ReZero. ReZero. No, Roswell. World 2-2, still one life. Oh no. I don't like it. That's so funny. Nope, we're not shy.
さすがに風呂場ではメイクを落としてんのな。ああ、そうだね。おや、ひょっとすると私がスバル君の前に素顔をさらすのは
My real face.
初めてだったりするのかな。
Why do you wear the makeup? What does it indicate? Like, what's it for? You're actually good looking.
あの化粧は趣味で別に顔を隠したってわけじゃない
Because I like it.
口が裂けてたり鼻が曲がってたりするわけでもないし
That's funny.
目つきが絶望的に悪いわけでもおっと俺見て言うなよ心の弱い三白眼なら死んでるぞ
Sampaku eyes, I don't know what that means.
聞いてもよろしくて
I don't know if I can trust you, Roswell.
深い見識で答えられる内容なら構わないと
The voice. Your voice is so goofy.
毎回人が入るたびにお湯が入れ替えられてるよな。そうだね。誰が入っても入れたての一番風呂だと思う。
That's nice.
エミリアタンの後に入ったからって別にお湯飲んだりしてないぜ。
Jeez. Oh no. Is that why Ram just kind of like is mean to us as soon as we get out?
しかし私が若かった頃に君のその発想ができただろうか。若さってロズッチ何歳なの
How old are you?
100、200。見た目だけでなく言動まで適当
How old are you? Tell us.
疲れるぜ。私は至って真面目なんだけど、そもそも君に言われるのはこれまた心外だね。自分のことを棚にあげるなんて、それマジって感じ。使い方合ってる？自分が教えた言葉とはいえマジムカつく。まあいいじゃないか。今日は男2人裸の付き合いだ。何でも質問に答えようじゃないか。マジで。
Sit back down.
マジで。それじゃあ。それは答えられないね。
What?
聞いてもいねえよ。
You can't answer that. Like, were you reading our thoughts? Is that what you did? Did you read our thoughts? Yeah, it's really bizarre hearing the voice actor for like Dio and characters that we know and love like that in this kind of role. Like, it's so funny. My first impression is that I can't trust him, and that's maybe because he gives me major Kafka vibes, like, in his appearance. I know that's not necessarily fair just to judge based off appearance. Kafka from Final Fantasy VI, not to be trusted whatsoever. And yeah, I do really like this look that he has when he's not wearing his makeup and stuff. I think that he does look pretty cool. I don't really know why he wears the makeup. I know he explained here that it's because he likes it and that he wants to. It's not to hide anything, but does that stem back to anything? Like, was there a point in time where he just decided to start wearing it? Not important information whatsoever, and probably information we'll never get the answer to. Even the fact that he mentions at one point that his eyes do not appear to be hopelessly evil. I don't know about that. He doesn't strike me as someone we can trust 100%. A lot of my distrust for him nowadays comes from the fact that he always seemed to be gone when bad shit would go down. He would just miraculously happen to be gone at that point. Like, that just seems a little too coincidental that it happens so often. And then also the fact that he kind of sought chaos in the capital when Subaru came into the room with, you know, the candidates and everything. He was very supportive of Subaru being there and very like, let's just see what happens. And that's bizarre to me. Like, he seems like he has some sort of plan, and I understand that he wants to kill the dragon, I believe is what he says to Ram. It just feels like his methods to get to that point, he's maybe scheming, and we don't truly understand the depth of how deep his schemes go. I wonder if he will actually be a villainous character at some point, or if at some point we will join him in his goal to defeat the dragon. Maybe that's something that would be for the good of everyone, and Subaru would also recognize that, and Subaru would join him. I don't know if that would happen. I wonder if we'll get to see Puck fight Roswell again. I know we got a little tease of something like that in the first OVA, Memory Snow, but you know, we need to see Roswell fight someone who is just as powerful as he is, because we have not got to see him unleash his whole true hidden potential. Not even hidden potential, his true potential. We haven't got to see that yet. And yeah, I wonder if he's gonna need to explode at some point and, you know, use up all his mana and everything, because obviously we saw Puck go through manistration and everything like that, and it's explained to us that Roswell also needs to let loose, and characters like that, Beatrice is able to do it because she's constantly, you know, using magic for the library and everything. But yeah, I feel like we're about due to see Roswell really explode and really use up a lot of his magic at some point. Like, I'm really excited to see Roswell in action, and I hope it's not against us. I hope it's not against Subaru. I hope it's not against, you know, Amelia, Ram. I don't think it would be Ram, but that would be a really interesting situation to see Ram versus Roswell, granted, you know, considering what we know about Ram and about Roswell and everything, and the way that they are with one another. I think it would be really interesting to see if that ever happens, if there's ever any strife or anything between the two of them. But I can't see that being the case unless he threatens Ram's life. I feel like that's the only way Ram would ever betray or go against Roswell. I feel like she's more loyal to Ram, but Roswell is very close second. Or maybe it's the other way about. Maybe she's more loyal to Roswell than Ram. Who knows? I really don't have a clue. I really could have done without learning that Subaru drank the bathwater after Amelia. I could have done without learning that. Ram definitely could have done without learning that, and I guess that explains why she's so dismissive and like kind of mean to Subaru once he does get out of the bath at this point, because I remember that in the episode. I can't remember exactly what it is that she says, but I do remember her being very like, ugh, you know, with Subaru, and that is very Ram anyway. Like, it's nothing new, but I do have like a kind of memory of that. And yeah, I was hoping also that we would get an answer as to how old Roswell is, because then I can start to theorize, because I have a theory that he was one of the mages, or a mage, or whatever it was, that was present when the Witch of Envy was sealed away, but I have nothing to prove that. And granted, we don't know his age, kind of makes it hard to theorize that for sure. Subaru is such secondhand embarrassment. Absolutely. Subaru is such a loser. He's such a dork. And yeah, I really could have also done without seeing Roswell stand up. I know we didn't actually see anything, but yeah, it still stands. I think now we're ready to move on to the next one, number 6. Zero. Puck, World 2-3, still one life.
俺は密入国してきたようなもんだなんて本当呆れた
I mean,
怖い人に聞かれたらギッタンギッタンにされちゃうんだから
what other countries are there?
茶化さないのでもスバル本当にショット扱いでよかったの
右も左もわからない俺にとってはこうやって滞在させて
Even
も
though
ら
he
える
told
だ
Felt
け
you're
で
good
も
at
十分
directions.
でも私からは何もスバルにお礼できてない
We've all been so busy.
そういうのじゃなくて
こうやってエミリアタンの笑顔に毎日会える
Of course, that's
こ
enough
れって
for
俺
you.
には最高のご褒美だよ
That's all Subaru wants.
EMT
EMT? Why does it say EMA at the bottom, man?
マジ天使の略
Major
何言ってん
Angel.
のかわかんないでも何かしてほしいことあったら教えてね私にできることなら何でもする何でもさせてスバルが私に繋いでくれたのは
I love hearing the birds. Wow, look at her. Getting so close. Oh, they're both blushing. Touches her hair.
あいやなんとなく手が伸びてご褒美ってんならほらこんなんでも嬉しいかなっていう安い
I'm a simple guy.
触ってたけどスバルって体毛に興奮するシーンとかあるの
髪の毛を体毛ってカテゴライズするのやめようよこんな綺麗な銀髪なのに
She does have really pretty silver hair. I love seeing it in different styles and stuff.
何すんだよパック
あれほど僕の毛をモフモフしておいて他の毛にうつつを抜かすとはやるじゃないかスバル
What?
ここは
You
別
think
腹
it should only be for
感
you?
情の起点が全然違うというか
もう僕をモフモフする権利は剥奪だね
You don't have the right.
なんとか
いやこんな浮気性で気の多い男は許せないよ
Infidelity?
浮気性なの
Oh no.
全然
He's a child.
悪いことなんでしょ
It sure is.
相手はカンカンなんだからね
カンって興味聞かねえな
Sore?
俺は
What's
いつも
wrong with the word
エミリアが
sore?
一筋っすねお父さん
いや君の娘はやれやはりやれんな
そこをなんとか
Wow, it starts betting.
いやそれでも本当仲良しなんだから
Yeah, they're great friends until they aren't. But then, you know, we do fix things by the end of the series, which is nice. Yeah, this one, I guess, doesn't really have as much to talk about as the others. You know, it's nice seeing the way that they are with one another. It's nice seeing Subaru and Amelia spend time with one another and everything like that. But yeah, this one, there's not really a whole lot to say. Amelia using oldie time words, smithereens, and apparently sore. I don't know why sore is being used as an example for something that Subaru hasn't heard in a long time, and it's kind of like supposed to be oldie time. Like, I say sore all the time. Like, I'm like, oh, I've got a sore arm, I've got a sore back, sore neck. Like, that's normal, right? Like, doctors use the word sore. Anyone uses the word sore. I feel like Subaru's being crazy with that one. Not really a whole lot to talk about in this one, like I said. We got to hear him use a really funny voice when he was saying EMT. Amelia Tan, Major Angel. Apparently the T stands for angel, you know. I wonder why it pops up T. I guess that's the Japanese translation or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what the T stands for in actuality. If there's a literal translation or something like that. Subaru touches Amelia's hair, then Puck gets jealous. That's really all there is from this one. Henshi means angel. Ah, gotcha. Thank you. I feel like I'm not really going to say much more about this one. That's really all I have to say. It was funny, it was fun, and it was a nice little break time. But yeah, I think I should probably just move on to the next one because otherwise this video is going to be bullshit long. So here we go. Number 7, I believe. Are we going to get down to 0 lives?
ゼロから始める
ブレイクタイム
World 2-4.
これで俺と契約を行ったことになるんだな
不本意ながらなのかしら
俺たちはパートナーらしく仲良くしなきゃいけないんだぞ
別に仲良くする気もないかしら
そこでちょっと
It's nice seeing Beatrice again.
話を聞けなのよ
Beatrice, another character I need to learn more about.
そう言われて教えるベティとでも思ったかしら契約は
Please teach us.
やる優しさは。
あるね。お前はある。俺はそれをよく知ってる。
お前に何がわかるかしら。会ったこ
I
となんて2
suppose.
回しかないのに。
We met more than twice.
ああ、お前にとっては。
Very okabe.
でもお前は教えてくれる。そういうやつだ。
It's like the longest 3 weeks of all time
お
type
前が
shit.
ここロズワール邸の禁書庫で師匠を
Yep,
やっ
we
て
do
るっての
know
は
that.
分かった。けどさ、さすがに多すぎじゃね
ロズワールが王宮最高の魔術師という表現は嘘じゃない
Look at
の。
him, he's so
ル
detailed.
グニカ王国においてロズワールに匹敵する魔術師は王宮に一人もいない。
Nobody else except Puck. Oh wait, that's magic user. He's a Puck is a great
そ
spirit.
こに関しては同意するかしら。
それにしてもこれだけの量をロリ一人で管理って、ひょっとしてこのロリ知らずに犯罪の片棒を担がされている哀れなロリなんじゃ。
What the hell?
ロリ何回聞いても腹立たしい。あと質問に答えてやったベティを置き去りに世界一くだらないこと考えてるのが伝わってきて死ぬほど腹立たしいかしら。
Okay.
カリカリすんなよ。小魚食えって。カルシウム取る
Small
と心が
fish.
落ち着いて背が伸びる。俺はエミリアタンと俺ぐらい身長
Wow, look at
ラブ
that.
コメするのにちょうどいいって思うなーって。
That's a really old school, like,
言いたかった。
romance kind of manga type look.
そんな言い方するなベティ。
いつベティのことを
ベテ
ベ
ィ
ティと呼ぶ許可を出したかしら。
自分で言ってるんだしいいじゃん。相棒なんだし相性って大事だぞ。
相性で呼ばれる筋合いもないし、そもそも
Not from someone like you.
ただの一時的な契約を結んでいるだけかしら。
Temporary contract.
ベティは嫌なのか。じゃあ他の呼び方考えなきゃな。
話を聞くかし
ベアトリロリ娘。これいいんじゃね？
Betra lolly girl. What the hell? Did he say I suppose at the end? That's really funny. Beatrice, hugely mysterious character still to this point. Like, I've shared my theories on her. I think that she's going to be someone that we can know and trust a lot as we go on. You know, like, she's going to be really important. But for now, she kind of watches from the sidelines, and it does seem like she's pretty sad watching, and it's like she's accepted that she has to fulfill the role of you know, sideline watcher, someone who isn't involved. And yeah, I just hope that at some point we do get to see her actually step out and join us and be the important character we know she could be. And yeah, Subaru obviously can see right through her. He knows that she is a good person. He knows that she will do good things. That's old school shoujo look, yeah. I wonder what the relationship between Betty and Roswell is, because she works here in his mansion, his manor, whatever it is. She's a very strong magic user. She's very powerful, but also he's stronger, and she admits that herself here when she says that he is the strongest magic user in Lagunica. But she doesn't seem to really like him or respect him, so I wonder what their relationship actually is. I know there was mention of Beatrice's mother in the first OVA, Memory Snow. I can't imagine that was just throwaway. I think that was kind of a tease for something to come. And yeah, I wonder if her mother was also like small and short like this or something like that. I wonder, like, just if we're going to learn more about Beatrice in general. I feel like there's so much untapped potential to learn when it comes to Beatrice, and I hope that we do get that at some point soon, because she's a character just like Julius, like probably at the top of my list, those two characters that I need to see more of and I would like to see develop more as the series goes on. But yeah, this is a crazy look, this shoujo look. Like, look at the length of those necks and everything. That is insane. I think that's going to do it for this break time. I think I'm going to move on to the next one. So here we go.
リゼロから始めるブレイクタイム。
Ramen Ram. Side A.
昨日とは見違えて表情がしっかりしてる。
それもこれもみんなエミ。
膝枕ですね。
The love pillow. That was such a sweet moment.
膝枕が全てみたいに聞こえるからその言い方やめて。
姉様姉様、スバル君という名の白状者が何か言って
The
ます。
Heartless Beast.
バルスって呼び名の
Damn, we're back to this. I wonder if we're ever going to see something like this again. Now that Ram is the way she is. What?
いや、改めまして今日は本当にすいませんでした。だから許してお願い。これでエミリアタン、ベアコ、ラムとレム、登場してるすべての女の子に見下されるルート回収が終わった。業が不敬よ俺。
姉様姉様、スバル君ってとんだ変態さんです。レムレム、 バル
He
スと
certainly
見下げた
can
マ
be.
ゾ野郎だわ。
Masochist?
言い過ぎだよ、特に姉。
When did he say anything about masochism? Wow, she's doing this
レ
again?
ムもラムも優しくてよかった
Is
わ
that
ね
gonna be a common thing
今
without
のやり
these?
とりに優しさあったねえ、俺悲しくなっちゃうよ。
スバルまだ辛い？大丈夫？
いやいやいや、そういう意味じゃなくて。
You're gonna hurt his
もうエミリア
heart.
タンの前であんな集大さらさないか
Gonna
ら。
make him soar in a different way.
へこたれた時は素直に休む。
Rest is
すごく大
very
事
important. This is true.
EMT。
また変なことばっかり言ってる。もう知らないからね。
いやだから EMT ってのは俺の中で最上級の褒め言葉なの。
He's
それ
feet.
とも EMP がいい。エミリアタンマジプリ
レム。
はい。
Mega pretty. Oh?
少しバルスを見すぎよ。レムの考えもわかるけど。
Oh shit.
姉様。
She
レムはこれは
notices.
ロズワール様もご懸念されているわ。
We get this
レムも迷ってるん
conversation.
でしょ。
I like this.
残念な人間という評価も正しいと思うけど。
That's
姉
true.
様。スバル君が眠っている時の顔は子供のようでした。
He was a little innocent lily angel.
何も考えてない無様な顔が浮かぶ。
Empty-headed.
よーし、姉様、レム。
Rem's thinking
今日も
sweet and
仕事
Ram's
頑張り
thinking
ます
mean.
まずは食器磨きからいきますか。
姉様、スバル君が
I
戻っ
love
てきま
this
したよ。
OST.
レム、バルスが無様を晒しに戻ってきたわ。
姉様、やっぱ優しさ足りなくね。
姉様はいつも優しいです。
そうっすか。
Always nice. That's debatable. But yeah, no, that was the last little section of this. This was so nice because, yeah, like we saw that conversation that Ram had with Roswell, and it was kind of ominous. It was very mysterious, like what that whole thing was about. But we never actually got to see the conversation. I think she did say that like Rem or something was getting closer or something to Roswell, and it seemed like she was gonna kind of intervene and ask Rem about Subaru and stuff like that. So it's nice that we actually do get that scene here. And yeah, the way that they talk here, it's very clear that they understand Subaru is just a guy. Like, he's just a silly little guy, and there's no harm in him whatsoever. He's literally a child, as they say here. And I of course, Ram's going to take that a step further and say, yeah, I'll never forget his empty looking head or empty looking face or whatever it was. Also, it was nice getting that callback to the lap pillow moment, because that moment was so sweet, so adorable, and everything we needed, because at that point in the series, tensions were so high and things were like my anxiety was through the roof. And so getting an episode like that where we rested our head on Amelia's lap and everything seemed to be okay again, even if it was just for those moments, like even if it was just for while he had his head rested on her lap and everything looked good, everything looked fine, and you know, Amelia was telling him, you don't have to try so hard, you can rest a minute. It really just helped bring things back to a point where things felt manageable, things didn't feel intense, things didn't feel scary anymore. It felt like we were going to work through things and we were going to find a way through the darkness, through all of this awful stuff. And yeah, getting callbacks to that moment really means a lot, because yeah, I loved that scene so much. It was one of the first times in ReZero that I was kind of like floored. Like, there were a lot of moments prior to it where I was like stunned, I was shocked and everything, but seeing that the series wasn't afraid to take a step back and take that emotional route and really just like emphasize the way Subaru's feeling and really showcase all of those emotions, and the fact that it was Amelia who was there for him, that was really important. And I really did love that moment so much. I think that it was one of the sweetest moments in the entire series up to this point anyway. And yeah, it's even in season 1, it's one of the sweetest moments. And it was everything. We also get moments where Rem and Ram are doing their usual like sister kind of thing, where they're like whispering to each other. Like, I feel like we haven't seen that since the pre-teen episodes. Like, I don't know when the last time we saw that was. It's been a very long time, and I don't know if that would ever happen now, because you know the way Rem is with Subaru and stuff like that. So that might be like a bygone era of ReZero where they're whispering to each other about Subaru or Barasu, whatever they call him. I think that's all I wanted to say about this one. You know, we did get the EMT thing again, when it's funny because it should be showing EMA because that's the translation in English. With Angel, it's not Tenshi in English, it's Angel. But the fact that they show it in English characters is interesting, that they use T still and not replacing it with A. I feel like we do get that. Isn't there a moment like in one of the last episodes where Subaru does actually call Emilia EMA or say something about EMA? Like, doesn't that actually happen in the last few episodes? Because I didn't have a clue what he was talking about when he said that. And I guess that's my answer now that I'm watching these break times. So yet again, giving us some information. Let us move on to number 9, I think it will be.
Break time.
Break time. One life left still. Side B.
全く口ほどにもないとはこのことね、バルス。
All talk.
約束したんじゃなかったかしら。
ああ、約束したさ。
Is this okay? Wait, your chops.
で、粉骨最新した今の無様な姿に
He's not gonna bust his balls. He's gonna bust his
ベンチ
chops.
プレス80キロ持ち上げられても持久力は別だなと感じました。
80
ベン
kilometers.
チなんちゃらが何かはわからないけど、バルスが口だけということはよくわかったわ。
That he
でも
is.
いえ、この重さを持ったやつにしか。
姉様、これは全部台所に持っていきます。
Wow, look at her just pick it up like it's nothing. That's so funny.
必要だった。
いいえ、見ての通りよ。
Ren carries everything all the time.
マジでただの嫌がらせか。
Absolutely.
後輩いびりとかやめてくださいよ、先輩。
わからないの？もちろん思いやりよ。
Considerate of Ram.
思いやりって何がよ。
バルスはレムが大きな荷物を担いで戻ってくる後ろで、香辛料がいくつか入っただけの小袋を手に、せこせこ帰ってくるところをエミリアさん
But
に
then what
見
did
ら
you
れた
do, Ram?
先輩の思いやりには言葉もありませんぞ。
You gotta look like the big strong guy.
発揮してもいいのよ。
もっと可愛い言い方ないのかよ。
素直で可愛いラムならではよ、バルス。
変に説得力ある。レム聞いてくれよ、ラムが。
姉様とスバル君、ずいぶん仲良しですね。
What?
いや、別に。
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're really that close.
ずいぶん仲良しですね。
Oh,
昇進の
threatening aura.
レム、バルスは女性と話していないと死ぬ持病らしいわ。だからラムが仕方
Yeah,
なく
all he does is
介
talk
護して
to
あげているだけよ。
girls.
姉様は本当に優しいです。
そんな説明で納得しちゃいます？
そんなわけで、ラムに感謝してやまないバルスは、お礼として今日の仕事をすべて一人でやりたい。
Wow, did he really say that?
でもそれで評価が上がるなら俺はやる。やってる。
それはダメです。
レムさん優しい。
スバル君にそこまでの能力
Wow, likes the ability. He's not good enough?
中で迷惑を被るのは姉様です。
辛辣。てか実際は何も言えねえ。でも見てろよ。限界を超
We're
えた俺
starting
の
to
仕事ぶり見せてやる
slowly see the evolution of
しょうがない
Ram
からお茶を飲みながら
starting
見て
to
くれるとするわ。
be the way she is with Subaru, but not quite yet.
働こうぜ。
Another little silly little break time. This one, yet again, didn't really give us too much information. It was kind of just a silly little break time. But you know, sometimes that's all you need. You don't need to learn something new every single break time. But I guess, yeah, it kind of like gives us a reason as to why Subaru carried everything alone, and it's almost that he could appear or appeal to Emilia more as being this big strong guy carrying everything, and he didn't want Ram and Ram to carry stuff because, you know, he saw himself as the man and stuff like that. I guess that's maybe it. We don't really get too much here. We get a little moment where Ram comes across threatening, and it's when she's asking if we're very close to Ram, and of course we have to answer that we are, otherwise, you know, we don't know what Ram's going to do here. And this is around the time where Ram does start to warm up a lot to Subaru and starts to get a lot closer to him and everything. So yeah, I wonder if we're going to get to see that play out in the rest of these break time shorts. Probably not going to say much more about this one. I'm probably just going to move on to the next one. That was another break time short, so let's move on to see what we get in, I think it's number 10, though I could be wrong.
ゼロから始める。
Zero.
タイム。
Oh my god, that was a lot of words on the screen. I couldn't read it all.
本当に無様なこの姿を見ていると、
Look, he's got the
慈悲深いラムの
sword.
失望を隠しきれないわね。
See, I love these episodes when he was spending time with
まず
Ram.
隠すって言葉の意味知ってる？隠してる内容を相手に悟られたら終わりなんだぜ。
隠す以前に 期待した自分を恥じているところだから悟られても気にしないの。
Animal trails. I don't know if we're gonna spend much more time with Ram in the future, because now there's a lot of other characters.
バルスは何のためにここにやってき
Yeah,
たの？
why did you come here, bro?
レムとな、約束したんだ。レムといろんなことを聞いて、いろんなことを話
That
そ
we
うって。
did.
それに、レムに俺の髪を切ってもらうんだ。
Yep.
髪の毛。
俺が何かしてる時とか、ラムと3人で話している時も、レムって何かにつけて俺の方見てただろ。
Yep, she's always been watching to see what we do.
レムは疑っていた。
Yep,
俺という不審者。
you really were. And you learned that the hard way. The scary way, the terrible way.
髪の毛がボサボサすぎて気になって仕方なかったみたいなんだけど。あの時ラムが起点を聞かせた。
よかったらレム、バルスの髪少し整えてやるといいわ。バルスの格好が無様だからよ。
Ram understood, Ram
俺
knew.
自前でやって割とうまく切れたと思ってんだけどね。
少なくとも使用人として置いておくのに楽だ点なのは
Earn
間
a
違いない。
feeling grid.
ああ、だからお前たちと一緒にいられるように綺麗にしてもらうんだ。俺はあの約束を本物にする。
無事に戻ってこれたらラムからも頼んであげるわ。
ああ、ぜひともお願いするぜ。
She's gonna cut his hair, though it doesn't look any different.
やっぱりお前は本当は優しい
Of
な。
course she's nice. She just has an outwardly hard-headed
おう、足止めさ
kind
せて
of
悪かった。
appearance.
行こ
Yeah, we have no time to stop and talk.
う。まったく
Ram's life is in
この島に
danger.
あの屋敷の女性陣は少しばかり他人優先すぎて。弱っちい俺の格好悪さに嫌気がさっせ。
バルス、
ああ、置いてくなよ。俺はやることをやる男夏木スバルだ。
He's gonna use Shamak soon.
レムのところに。
じゃあ
Let's go get her.
もっと足を動かしなさい。
ラッチャー。
Oh
でもやっぱり無
no.
様ね。
He's pathetic. He can't even go out in front because, you know, his whole foot apparently gets stabbed by a branch. I love here that we do get that conversation about Subaru acknowledging that Rem has been watching him and it's his unsightly appearance. Isn't that like a quote from Bloodborne? Like, no, it's an unsightly beast. That's Bloodborne. Ludwig the Accursed. But yeah, I do think that this was a really nice conversation that they had. I love the OST that they were playing, and I do think that there's a lot to learn within these, and I think that the fact that it's really focusing and showing the way characters really act around each other and like why they act around each other and how everything plays out, I think that that's really cool. I love that these break times have definitely been helping to bridge that kind of gap in knowledge. You kind of just see things and you kind of just assume, oh well, they must be okay now, they must blah 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 blah, but you don't actually see certain conversations happen. You don't kind of see like how certain characters like come to be the way they are with one another necessarily, and these break times are a really good example of kind of bridging that, and I do really appreciate these. I think these have been really fun, really nice to see so far. I'm excited to see what we get in this next one. I think that we should just move straight into the next one and see if Subaru ends up slowing them down even further. Let us see what number we're at now actually. Okay, so the next one will be number 11, so let's see what we get in number 11 break time.
ゼロから始める。
ブレイクタイム。
Break time. One life left still. I did. Yep, that's the end of this
スバルって
episode.
本当に欲がないんだから。
欲深な俺を舐めちゃいけ
Your
ない。
intense
このデートに
greed.
は俺の強欲ゆえなリビドー的ななんちゃらかんちゃら。
それが花
Don't mention libido, what the hell?
そうだよ。
Why would you say libido when you're talking to a girl? Like,
だ
that you're just trying to take on a
言っ
date?
てなよ。
So
その
weird.
うち俺のズうずうしさにその可愛い微笑みも凍りつくぜ。イエス。
Yes.
変なことばっかり言ってると怒るわよ。
さっきみたいに。
怒ってなかったわよ。
エミリアタン何も言わずに置いていったの怒ってたでしょ。
別に怒ってたわけじゃないの。ええ、怒ったりしてない。看病してた相手が目が覚めたらいなくて、探しに行こうにも椅子にがんじがらめに縛り付けられてて、置いてけぼりにされたからって。
I don't really know what they're talking about here.
怒ったりしないもん。
What are they talking
予
about?
想以上に怒って。
Oh?
別に怒ってないから。
Not angry at all,
はい、エ
tsundere
ミリア
type
タンのお
shit.
怒りはごもっともです。はい、すいません。
だから怒ってないってば。 でもスバルが悪いと思ってるみたいだから仕
So
方ない
very well.
その謝罪を受け入れましょう本当に心配させないでね
Aww. That's sweet.
そんなに謝らせたことひどかった
違うよその笑顔 ENP
P.
やだマジプリティだね
Mega pretty.
でも本当に無事でよかった
す
呪いにかかってることも知らなかったしパックも教えてくれなかったし
呪いは解けたんだからさ許してよ
一歩間違ったら
Yeah, a lot of
死んじゃ
shit
ってた
went
んだからね
down.
ああ一歩間違ってたら死んでたのはこっちだったんだ
呪いが解けたってこ
Those
と
days were
は
crazy.
魔獣たちが完全に殲滅されたってこと
Hopefully.
スバル
Well, there's more actually because we see
デー
more.
トの日は花束
At some
を持って
point.
いきましょう
Aww.
たくさんの花を二人で持っていこ
ありがとうスバル
う俺の
Aww.
方こそありがとう
We see the Mabis attacking
Oh,
Petalgoose and
still
everything. And
待
so.
望の朝を迎えることができたのだった
Yay! We made it! Wow, going back to episode 11 and seeing that they made it. They're talking about when Subaru left to look for Rem in the forest. Amelia was tied down by Subaru and Puck so she wouldn't go after them. Ah. Okay, no, yeah, okay. That makes sense, yeah. I get it now. Having that conversation was really nice because, like, yeah, yet again, that's another thing that just gets overlooked and doesn't get mentioned in the episodes themselves. You know, it's just kind of like, it happened, they got over it. So be it. Why does he say he's such a creep? Why does he open his mouth sometimes, Subaru? Sometimes he should just let other people do the talking. This one really was just the two of them. Like, there was no Puck interference, there was nothing. It was literally Subaru and Amelia, and we need more scenes like these. We need more scenes where they have time alone with one another and they can talk and they can share their feelings, they can share their thoughts with one another, because I'm not saying that the series isn't doing a good job of showcasing that they are going to be good for one another and that Subaru is chasing after Amelia and everything like that. I think the series has been doing a good job of that, but when you have so many people who were disappointed that he turned down Rem for Amelia, it kind of goes to show that the series maybe needs to do a better job or do a more intense job of giving the two characters more scenes with one another. Personally, I didn't mind, but I do love seeing these kind of scenes with Amelia and Subaru. I think that it's very precious and it's very rewarding to actually see them spend time with one another. And yeah, I say there was no Puck interference. I'm guessing that's because Puck is asleep. It's nighttime, because otherwise Puck would probably show up and interfere at some point. But yeah, she's ethereal. She's so adorable, and yeah, I love Amelia. I love the way that she is, and I love the way she is with Subaru. It's nice to see that she doesn't just roll over for Subaru, kind of in a way that Ram does. Like, she's more stubborn, I guess, or she's more, I don't know, like, I don't know the right word, but like she doesn't just roll over as much for Subaru as someone like Ram does. And I think that that's part of Amelia's charm. I think that's part of what makes her really special, that she does do her own thing, and she not necessarily is selfish, but she does what is right for her at times. Even though she worries about things, she's always worrying about other people, how other people perceive her and stuff. But Puck being there for her and helping her kind of like steer her own course through that wilderness, I think really helps her here. I just love her character. I think she's so adorable. I think she's so sweet and so cute. And I think that the way the two of them bounce off one another is very nice to see. And yeah, I love these two characters. I hope we get to see more of them in these break times. I hope that we get to see more of them in season 2 together. I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. Number 12. Here we go. Let's check out the next one. Number 12. Oh my god, what? This is different. Oh. Yeah, where are you? Oh, we're in the Petite now. We're in school.
早く席に着きなさい
Return to school.
俺確か
どうしたのスバルくんホームルームのチャイムは鳴りましたよ
いやどうしたっての
Ominous.
こっちのセリフでって何やってんの
We've been transported to another world where we're in school
大事な
again.
連絡事項がいっぱいあるんだから
エミリアタン
こーら先生に向かってエミリアタンって変な呼び方するなんてすごく悪い子
Bad boy.
あれだよ最近は先生とかを尊敬してタンって名前の後ろにつけたりするだよ
そうなの
そうそう
Really?
そうなんだよエミリアタン
But shouldn't you be calling her by her
私さご
surname?
めんね
Do we get to learn her surname actually?
引き込まれたのか。しかし目の前にいるのは紛れもなくエミリアさん。こんな苦し紛れな嘘に引っかかる。
We're in another world.
調理なんて魔法で再現できるはずがない。
物を大切にしましょう。
そうだ、パックなら何かわかるかも。エミリアさん、パックは
Yo, she's trying to
牛
teach.
乳などの紙パックはリサイクルに使えるので、紙箱に
What?
入れずにちゃんと紙パックと書いてある
Paper
リサイクル
packaging.
違うの？でも紙パックは表面が防水加工されているから
Packaging.
他の古紙とも分別しないと。
博学すぎるよエミリアタン。
Why did we actually answer her question?
エミリアタンマジ博学って。
Major hitter it.
パック。君にとって大事な
大事なパック、美容パック。
エミリアタンはそのままでも十分に可愛いよって。そうじゃなくて、こういう猫のって。お、俺思った。
Wow, look at that
どうし
drawing.
たの？急に校長先生の似顔絵描
The
いた。
principal.
校長先生って。
校長の僕です。
Principal Puck.
ど
With
う
his
したの
little
一体？
satchel.
急に叫んだり授業を邪魔して、先生お冠なんだから
Very
ね。
cross with you.
冠って興味聞かねえな。
People say
もう
cross.
怒っちゃいました。スバルくん、外で立ってなさい。
嘘。
Outside.
早く。
仕方ないな。
Reset.
俺は必ず
Damn, we messed up.
元の世界に。
Messed up and now we have to
案外
reset.
元の世界ってどう？
Yeah, where is your own world?
スバルくん、貧血で倒れてたわよ。
Anemia.
あれ貧血？
That's crazy. I wonder then, like, I know that this is just a silly little short, but I wonder if the implication that the purple, you know, all of that can transport him to another world, like another other world, isekai type thing where they are in school and everything. I wonder if that implies that that could actually happen or not. Like, maybe not. Like, I don't think so. I don't think that would ever happen. But it would be really curious and interesting if at some point Subaru ends up in another other world. Like, that would really break the series. Like, not like break it in a bad way, but break the whole thing apart and make things like insane. Now for the not at all serious section. Yeah. I know you're saying not at all serious, but like maybe I'm looking too literal into things by watching, you know, stuff happen, like, you know, being isekai'd into a classroom. Like, maybe there is no other isekai potential within this, but I do think it would be really funny. Okay, so these are just for shits and giggles. I wonder if we'll learn anything whatsoever from these. Like, that'll be interesting. This was really funny. We're just in a classroom, you know, there's nothing serious here. It's just silly little shorts, and that's what we're here for. It's all in good fun. Emilia seems a lot more confident. She's a teacher, so yeah, I guess that's kind of an insight that this isn't real. Another thing, like I did mention, you know, the potential of, you know, an isekai within an isekai, but it was pointed out that Subaru heard himself laughing in a really early episode of the series, and that made me wonder then if there's some sort of weird time shenanigans. Like, I don't know, like there's the potential for something crazy, like almost world altering, world changing, you know, for Subaru to be able to alter events by going all the way back or something. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it would be curious to see if Subaru's, you know, return by death kind of evolves with him, like that ability, that power or whatever kind of evolves as the series goes on, and, you know, it adds more layers, it adds more depth. I think that would be really cool to learn. But yeah, we're just going to move on to the next one. Not really a whole lot to learn here. Just a silly little short that was really funny and fun to check out. And might I add as well, Subaru does strike me as the type to actually shout out in class. Like, that does seem lower accurate. That's headcanon for me right now, that in the real world, Subaru would pull this kind of shit. Let's move on to the next one. We're at school. Felt is here. Bro.
フェルトってお前同級生かよ。
Yeah, literally.
当たり前だろ。
こんなお子様と同級生なんて恐ろしいぜ異世界リアリティ。
リプチその2
Petite. That's cute.
ちょっとそこの
Beatrice.
叫んだりうろうろしたり授業の邪魔なのよ。早く席に着くかしら。
ほら、来ちまったじゃねえか。
誰が？
そこの男子、早くその口を閉じるかしら。
Is this another class?
ベアコ、ここは設定的に
ベアコ。
お子様が来るところじゃないからね。
Oh my god. You can't do that. You don't know who she is.
謝った方がいい
You should apologize.
ってんだよ。俺はいつものように。
This is too much to read.
敬意を持って接するべきなの
Teacher.
よ。
待て。
Yep.
ベアコ今
You
何
can't
つっ
just pick him up or pick her up like
礼
that.
儀正しなしらって言ったのよ。
Send her to the
じゃねえ
principal's
よ
office.
今先生って。
なのよ。このベアトリス先生に何か言いたいことでもあるのかし
Beatrice
ら。
おお、言いたいことがあるってか言いたいことだらけだよ。ただ一つだけ言うとしたら、お前どう見てもお子さん
それを持ってても言っちゃダメだ。
Eh,
100歩譲ってフェルトが同級生はありだけど、ベアコが
Felt looks seems to be very friendly with us. Grr, I say.
先生に喧嘩を売るとどういう目に遭うか。
Oh shit.
やっべ、先生、私は悪くねえぞ。
おい、なんだその手。
Is she gonna send us flying?
大丈夫なのよ。この男を懲らしめるだけかしら。
I
本
suppose.
気で。
兄ちゃん、強く生きろよ。
フェルトてめえ。
Goodbye, Felt.
今さら許さないのよ。
We brought this upon ourselves.
またマナタが座
I suck out the mana. Oh no. Beatrice, that's not allowed. We can report you for touching a student.
くすぐりかよ。
Tickling.
きりマナを吸い取られるのかと。
何を言い出すのよ。
This is a non-magic world.
マナだよ、マナ。俺はてっきりお前がマナ
Go
を
try to
吸
use
おうとしてる
Shamrock
の
right
か
now. I dare
吸
you.
い取るマナをかしら。それははしたない行為なのよ。ベティにはとてもできないかしら。
そうだよ、兄ちゃん。さすがにそれはねえよ。
Is this a magic world?
それをやりたくなる気持ちはわかるけど、あくまでマナは引き立て役だな。
なん
What?
かマナの話をしてたら食べたくなってきたのよ。
Mana? Oh, is that bananas?
特に唐揚げにつけたりしたらたまらないかしら。
Top of fried chicken? Oh, mayonnaise? I thought they were talking about bananas. But yeah, no, that's really funny. Mana being mayonnaise, of course. That's a throwback to OVA #1, Memory Snow, where Ram ends up filling the entire pool with mayonnaise. What's the series' obsession with mayonnaise? I don't know. I'll never know. But it is very funny. And like, I liked some of the break times, but of the Petites, this one's going to be the one to beat because this was very funny. I really liked this one a lot. You know, seeing Subaru acting the same way he always does with Beatrice, of course, always a pleasure because Beatrice is so absent a lot of the time in the series. Also, this little hairpiece right here up in the top there, on the cork board. Could someone remind me whose headpiece this is? Because I'm pretty sure this is the exact one that we see in episode like 15, 16, I can't remember which episode title or episode number it was, where we go into the manor and that's there and there are a bunch of dead people. Subaru really likes mayonnaise, so he invented it here. Ah, that's really funny. I like mayonnaise too, but probably not as much as this guy. Funny enough, like, I'm pretty sure I've got mayonnaise in the fridge that probably needs to be thrown out because it hasn't been used in a bit. So that's something I should probably check when I finish stream. Yeah, this was a really fun little Petite time. I love seeing Subaru and Beatrice. Their dynamic is easily one of the most entertaining in this entire series for me. I hope that we get to see that evolve as the series goes on. Seeing Felt here as well was really interesting because Felt in this isekai, like this alternate reality, whatever, is very close with Subaru, which is not what I expected. So yeah, I'm excited to see this kind of like evolved. Like I know that we're going to see these characters again, and I hope that in each Petite time it's not like a new alternate reality. I hope that it continues in this reality and we get to see more about Subaru and Felt's relationship and everything. We get to see the teachers and stuff again. I wonder who the next teacher is going to be. Probably Roswell. I wonder when Rem and Ram are going to show up and everything. So yeah, really fun Petite time. This is a really good one, and I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. Here we go. Oh my god, look at the Roswell Picasso. I hate that. It's terrifying. Oh shit, look who it is.
リプチその3
They work in a cafe, of course they do. A maid cafe. The master and his maids. Oh my god, Roswell's the owner here.
レムレム、ご主人様
レ
が何か
ムレム
言ってるわ。多
Our
分頭が
master?
おかしいのね。
姉様それでもご主人様はとても
What?
素敵ですよ。
We're their
メ
master?
イドとしてはいただけないけど、ロズっち
Or
ま
is that
って
just-
俺がご主人様ってシチュエーションは良い、すごく良い。
ご主人様、早く注文して
Or
ほ
is
しい
it
のだけ
just
れ
like
ど。
a
メニュー
formal
は
way of
ね
addressing
ラム
us?
のほっこりふかしいも、ドッキリふかしいも、気まぐれふかしいもってメニューふかしいもしかねえじゃねえか。
That's
値
all.
段が違うわ。
値段によってサービスが違うんだろ。
That's really funny.
値段によって芋の数が違うわ。
Oh,
それ普通。
You get 1, 2, or
喫
3.
茶的なサービスとか。
1回500円でご主人様のためにラムが
Oh
特別
shit,
に
we got a moe moe?
わ
Pay the 500, pay the 500. Moe moe.
100円か。地味にいい値段するけど、せっかくだし頼むよ。
That's it? Oh my god. Oh no. It's her standard go-to
レムさん、
pose.
レムさん、ご主人様の味方になってくださいません？
はい
Ram, let's see your
ご主人
pose.
様の味方です。でも姉様はとても素
Ram,
敵で
do a pose.
あのさ、姉様、こういうのって目線とかこっちに向けるべきだと思うんだよね。
確かにご主人様の方を向かないのはメイドとして問題があるわ。
だろ？
じゃあ特別にもうワンポーズするわ。
Oh no, it's disgust.
す。姉様はいつも
That would make a really good emoji or emote or whatever on Twitch, actually. Just her disgusted face.
でも姉様はとても素敵です。
全くありえねえ。メイド
That's
喫茶なんだから
so funny.
ちゃんとメイドのサービスしてくれよ。
確かにそうですね。
分かったわ。ご主人様の
もえ
希望に応じ
もえ
てメイドサービスをしてもいいわ。
そう来なくっちゃ。で、どんなサービスなの？例えば？
Steamed potatoes.
拳で脳天を勝ち割る。
What the hell?
違いだ。
姉様とレム
Oh,
が
made something about Underworld?
リピーターはいませんが、今まで
Wow,
一度
she
もクレーム
crushed
が
that
来た
table.
ことが
Holy
ないん
shit,
です
look at it.
オーケー。多分メイドに言っててクレームを言える状況じゃないことま
With
で予
no
想
way
で
to
きた。
complain. Stuck in hell with Ram. Wow, look at Ram, sorry. Look at Ram with her little ball and a chain right there. Note, Meido equals underworld or hell. Interesting. They are at a maid cafe. The maid iconic magic word, moe moe kyun. Absolutely. I'm excited for Dan to Dan season 2. I will not elaborate. Another really fun one. I think, like, while yes, I loved getting the lore and information and everything from the break times, I'm really enjoying these Petite times more than I thought. I thought I would like the break times more because they would give me more information and everything. I really love this so much. The Picasso Roswell in the background is terrifying. It's creepy and I hate it so much. And I guess that I don't actually know what that means. Like, what is Roswell's role in this? Getting to see Ram do her poses in chibi-fied kind of like form, really funny. I think honestly, this right here, this would be like the perfect Twitch emote, honestly. Like, this is such a great face of disgust, and if I was to start doing like emotes or whatever on this channel, I would maybe use this. I don't know if that's allowed because it's not like my own art or anything. I don't know how that works, but this would be a really good one to use because it's so perfect. And yeah, no, I love it so much. Ram getting a lot of focus in these break time Petite times is really cool because, or sorry, I say Ram, I mean Ram. Seeing Ram get a lot of focus is great because Ram does kind of just fade into the background eventually, and she maybe shows up every now and then for like a minute, but Ram is like almost like secondary main character at a certain point. Like, she is right there with Subaru for a very long time, and she is very important and very relevant to the story and to everything that's happening, whereas Ram just kind of like tiptoes her way to the back. And I think it's cool knowing that she has the potential to be really important again in the future, especially with Roswell and everything, but I'd be interested to see how that comes about. I hope that we do get more Ram content. I hope that she doesn't just fade away into nothingness and obscurity, because she was one of my favorite characters at a certain point, like especially when Subaru and Ram are going through the forest and everything. Ram was, I much preferred Ram to Ram at that point. Obviously, as the series goes on, you spend a lot of time with Ram, and like, she's so nice. She's everything that we needed in those moments. So, you know, it's hard not to love Ram. She is such a sweet, well-written character that it's so hard not to just fall in love with her. But yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the next one. I loved seeing the way this played out and everything with the maid cafe. I think it was very obvious but very fun, and I wonder what the whole master thing is. I wonder if that's just kind of what they address any patron that comes into the cafe or something like that. But yeah, let's move on to the next one, see what we get. in this next Petite time. Nyan squared. That means Nyan Nyan, of course. Are we in a cat-made cafe now? Are we in the, I can't even remember the name of it, but the Ferris cafe from Steins Gate? Oh wait, if Ferris is a cat-made here, that's really funny because that's literally a White Fox reference within itself that, you know, it's referencing Steins Gate almost. So that would be really fun. I haven't watched it yet. I'm just kind of going off of what I see here in the picture, but let's see what we get in this one.
すいません
Sumimasen.
誰も来ないすいません
It's Beatrice!
何回も言わなくても行くから待
Does she have two jobs?
リプチ
She's a teacher and she's a maid.
おいおいロリがウェイトレスなんて
A lolly cafe.
しかしベアコがいるってことはここはゴスロリ喫
A
茶
goth lolly cafe.
てかし
Are there such things as lolly cafes? Oh shit, look who it is, the manager.
うわあからさまに嫌な予感がする
Giving me really bad vibes.
いい子だよな。うちの喫茶店はお天道様に恥ずかしくなるような商売してへんよ。
そう言われるとますます怪しいけど
お客様、喫茶店に来たんやろ。
Hell yeah, we came here.
そ
Let me order
ひと
your
まず入ってるし
finest
何々当
アパ
店一番人気ニャンニャン
the Meow Meow omelet.
響きだけで危ないなおいやっぱこの店危ないんじゃ
大丈夫に決まってるかしらこんな健全な店を捕まえて失礼もいいところなのよ
A pure cafe, what?
やないな。
お前らが言うから怪しいんだよ
冷やかすなら帰るかしら
わかった注文するよじゃあこの一番人気のニャンニャンオムレツで
We'll have one Meow Meow omelet.
喜んでなのよ
ノリが喫茶店じゃな
Is this the Petite time that would have played in episode 15?
普通の店
Because that's crazy. After everything that happened there,
にゃ
is he reading ReZero?
応援したって。
Wow, look at him
オム
go.
レツってそういう意味か
A Meow Meow omelet is just an omelet that
一生懸命
Puck carries. Aww,
もしやここは
so
猫喫
cute.
その通りかしら
Ah, it is a cat
茶ここ
cafe.
にはサイズでかすぎ
But this is Puck.
オムレツはむしろそんな
Look at this little omelet
お
wobble.
客様のせいやないの。
俺のせい
Damn, but it's the most popular item.
ありがとうよパック
Yippee!
パックはもしやこの世界で
Wow.
なのか
にゃん
パック言葉が話せないなんて
いや話せるけどね
おいまあいいかパックがプルプルして持ってきたこのニャンニャンオムレツ
That was just so
意外と
silly.
うまそうじゃねえかさすが一番人気それではい
ただきま
Oh my
言う
god!
のかよ
You ordered it for the cat!
そもそもお客様
食べるか話すかどっちかにしろやっ
Is it cat food?
ぱり食べるのかよ
Damn, Super, you better tuck in before it's all gone. You don't think there are lolly cafes, but there is at least one goth cafe in Vampire Cafe in Japan. Really? That's really interesting. I know that Japan has a lot of different like cafe types and stuff, but I'm not familiar with any of them because, you know, anywhere I've been, it's just normal ass cafes. You know, you go in, you get your food, you get your drink, whatever you're getting, and you leave, or you sit down and just like, yeah, nothing, no gimmicks or anything. I think it would be interesting to go to a gimmick cafe. I wouldn't know which gimmick cafe I would ever want to go to. I know that there's also different types of cafes, like pop-up cafes and stuff that Japan does for different like anime, different games, different you know, media or like culture things and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. This one was fun. I did prefer the previous two, I think. But seeing that this is probably the Petit time that played during episode 15 or 16 when some of the craziest shit in the series was going down, that's so funny to me. I love the joke that, you know, it's a nyan nyan or it's a meow meow omelet, and that means that it's a cat cafe and that Puck carries the omelet out. That shit's so funny to me. It's really funny. I love the way that it was done here, and I think it was really funny here. I'm glad there were no broken tables in this one. I guess Subaru's just going to be trying out all the different cafes that he can see, you know, in this alternate reality. I guess every Petite time is an actual alternate you know, kind of timeline, alternate reality and stuff. You know, he's using his rating Steiner to go to all these different world lines and stuff, and seeing how things are different and stuff. I wonder if we're going to find out that one of the characters is a girl, whether they should be a boy. I wonder if we're going to find out that someone's mother or father is still alive. You know, just some crazy shit that, you know, only Steins Gate would do. Cafe. I was hoping we get Ferris here, but not quite. So yeah, let's move on to the next one and see what we get. I'm sure it's going to be just as fun. Excuse me. Just need to check my phone because I think Sorry, let me just check something real quick before I continue. Sorry. Sorry for the delay, guys. I will continue very soon. Yeah, these have been really fun so far, though. I'm really enjoying these. I'm enjoying them a lot more than I thought I would. I thought that once we got past the break times and we got to the Petite times, it would kind of be like, we're not learning anything anymore. Like, that's a shame. But no, like, the Petite times are actually funny. Like, they're actually fun. They're nice little skit, like, short segments, like, for the series. And like, yeah, you don't take them seriously, and that's why I think I like them so much, because I'm not like spending all this time trying to discover what the hidden layers are or remember back to things and be like, okay, this means this, so that's referring to this and blah blah blah. It's just like fun, and I think that's why I'm enjoying these so much. And yeah, I think that going forward, if there are Petite times or anything, or break times in season 2, please let me know, guys, because I might consider like doing them alongside the episodes. That way I get the information if there are break times. If it's just Petite times, you know, I could just do another video at the end of the season like I'm doing for this. But, you know, if there's break times that kind of share information, I might consider watching them alongside the episodes, because that way I'm not forgetting things that the episodes or the break times are referring to. So, you know, let me know, and I will definitely consider the best way of doing that, you know, the best way to do that, I guess. Let us move on to the next one and see what we get in this one. Oh shit! Emilian fell. We're trying to find coin so we can put it in the machine. Such a twig head. Ram Ram and Beatrice on the right. See your head. You were really friendly to us like 3 break times ago. Reinhard. Damn, I hope you don't lose then. They're such good friends, yeah. We know that. Petal Goose! That was terrifying. Big win. Jingles and spits out coins. He wins. He's got divine protection. Yeah, arcade protection. I mean, I think it would be pretty useful for making money. You're gonna lose, Feld. Emilia's gonna win. Guys who don't know when to quit. What about that one coin that you had in episode 1? The one with the rounded edges or something? Well, be naive, be nice. Trust in her.
エミリアタン。
コインが増えればいいんでしょ。
Absolutely.
私一番コインがたくさん出る機械知ってる。
マジか。それどの機械？スロット、ルーレット？なんかコインを
Don't tell me it's going to be the coin where you put
ジャラジャラって落ちてくるやつ。
a note in and it gives you coins
あれに
in
お金入れ
exchange.
たらコインがじゃらじゃら
Oh my god, it is.
あれを使えば
It probably
たくさ
is.
ん増えるんじゃないかしら。
It's an exchange thing, isn't it?
エミリアタン。
Wow.
EMH エミリアタンマジ。
Major naive. I knew it. Pedal Goose in the arcade background is terrifying. I just like caught a glimpse of it and I like shit myself. Can't believe they would do this to me. There he is. I love the arcade. It's a shame everything in an arcade is so expensive. Arcades, if you have a lot of money to spend, can be like one of the most fun days you can have. But if you don't, then you're just kind of like there depressed, like watching everybody else have fun. Yeah, this one was fun. I think that drawing an illusion to, you know, the relationship between Felt and Reinhard with the candidacy and sponsor and everything, I think it's really fun because, you know, they're saying, oh, they're really close and everything. But also, like, it's further helping to emphasize that these timelines or these world lines, whatever, I've got Steins Gate on the mind, are very different in each single one, because in the second one, I think it was, Subaru and Felt were very close. Emilia was a teacher and everything, so, you know, I think that it's fun that in each individual one of these, it's kind of telling us a new story. It's telling us a new, like, just fabricated moment. And Natsuki Subaru, sadly, I guess every time he dies, he's transported to one of these worlds before he's transported back to the world of ReZero. Who knows? But I think that would be really funny. Obviously, somehow Reinhard is really lucky when it comes to all this stuff, and Felt is not. So will Felt win? Who knows? I suppose we'll probably never find out who ends up winning from this this little bet that they have going. But Emilia's moment at the end was so funny, you know, the whole coin exchange thing. I knew that that's what it was going to be, but I don't think that would count as a win, because you're putting money in and getting money out. Just because it's now coins, I don't think counts. Emilia, you're silly little goose, and that's why we love you. You're just a silly girl. You're such a sweet character. You're so fun to have around, and yeah, I couldn't imagine the series without Emilia. Let's move on to the next Petite time and see what we get in this one. Hopefully with 100% less pedal use. Oh my god, we're still at the arcade. Holy shit. Oh, look at all the characters you got. Oh, there's Pedal Goose. Oh my god. Okay, so spot the characters. We got Krush, we got Pedal Goose, Ram. Is that Felt herself in one? That's really funny. Old Man Rom. I guess this is, or I suppose this is Beatrice because of the hair. I can't remember your name, and that's bothering me. It's not Priscilla. It's not Krush. It's coming to me. I'm starting to envision it. Anastasia? Is your name Anastasia? We got, of course, two different forms of Emilia here. Priscilla, more Krush. I don't think there's any characters we haven't named yet, but yeah, I named them all, I think. I always surprise myself when I actually do remember these things, because, oh, there's Puck. I never noticed Puck. I always surprise myself because I genuinely, truly have a really terrible memory. So anytime I can remember something, it's nice. But yeah, let's move on to this one and see what we get. We're still at the arcade, so that's fun. I wonder if we'll actually get an answer as to who wins. Poochie Catcher. I don't know what Poochie means, but we'll see. Oh my god, we're still trying to find coins under these things. Deja vu. Episode 6. Great, that isn't a pigs. Holy shit. That's crazy. It's still happening. Priscilla! Yeah, get away from us, Priscilla. It's wrong. Yeah, Priscilla can do anything, of course. She's just naturally gifted like that. I want to win. You're gonna end up winning Priscilla or something, aren't you? Whatever it takes.
貴様はこれが欲しい。そしてそれはわらわの手に。
But what's the
ならば貴様がやる
catch?
ことは一つじゃ。
Kiss her
サンキュー
feet?
プリシラ
Oh no.
これであいつに勝てるかもしれねえ
Don't kiss her feet again.
おいちょっと頭下げたら済む話じゃねえか
This is the greed of a pig,
わらわもこの程
though.
度で足を舐めろとまでは言わん。
足舐めろとか言っちゃうのかよお前
で、
Absolutely, she would.
頭を
That's
下
what
げ
happened this
ベ
episode.
ルト
頭を
Oh?
下げたら人形は手に入るかもしれねえ。でもこの勝負はあくまで私とラインハルトとの勝負なんだ。
Your
人が勝ち取ったもの
pride.
を分けてもらって勝つってのはうまく言えねえけど、なんか違うと思う。
Absolutely, it's wrong. It's not
己の
real.
ちっぽけな矜持が
Your
勝る
tiny pride.
そう、私のちっぽけな気持ち
It's
だ。
just my tiny pride.
それを
What?
なくしたら私は私でなくなる気がする。
ふむ、それもまた一つの生き方よの。ならばわらわは貴様のあがく姿を見
Okay,
物してやろう
observe it.
あがく私を見て驚くんじゃねえぞ。
Okay, we put one coin in. We're gonna win something, right?
どうけてみせよ。
兄ちゃんもありがとうな。私はこのコインで勝負をかけてくるぜ。
What? We're not gonna win?
プリシラ
We don't get to see you play?
感謝されることなど
She got one?
そうか
What is it? It all stuck. No! That has to be the worst. Thankfully, that's never happened to me. It's happened to me with vending machines, of course. I can't imagine there's a single person on the planet who's used a vending machine at least 10 times that hasn't run into that kind of situation. This is another fun one. I love the arcade theme. I think that we should stay in this arcade for a little while. But it seems that we're going every 2 episodes, or every 2 Petit times we're going to a new location. There were 2 in the school, there were 2 in the cafe, and there were 2 in this arcade. So I imagine we're going to move on to another location pretty soon here. I wonder what it's going to be. I'm interested to find out. I'm excited to find out. But yeah, we should just stay in the arcade for a while because the arcade's fun. A lot of the same things happen in this one as happened in the last one. Felt competing against Reinhard, but this time Priscilla shows up and she's usual old Priscilla, kiss my feet type shit. This character, I don't know how to feel about her. Priscilla is a really interesting one because she is very cocky and very self-assured, but she also hates characters who can't do things for themselves, when a lot of the times other characters do things for her. So yeah, I think she's a really interesting one. I'm excited to learn more about her going forward. But yeah, Priscilla, of course, iconic. Probably one of my favorite candidates because she's got so much intrigue around her. And yeah, I want to know more about Al as well. I can't remember Al's full name. Is it like Albin or something? I know that it was mentioned in, I think, this episode, Greed of a Pig. Let's move on to the next one and see where it takes us. Maybe we'll go to a pool or something. Who knows? Theme park, something like that.
ここはかの有名
The
な
Dojinshi
同人誌即売会
Expo. Look at all the characters.
お前サークル参加かよ
どうぞ手に取ってみてください。
表現がこなれていらっしゃる
リプチその7。
あれ
From Zero.
はい姉様は今外を回ってくると言って帰ってきません。
姉様相変わらず Going my way だな
Absolutely, she does her own thing.
カメラ小僧の
Why are the ruffians here?
素敵ですから。
And Apigai in the background. The crowd around Apigai is so funny.
そうだスバルくん、レムたちも本を出したんです。どうぞ見てくだ
What's
さ
the
い。
book called?
普通女の子が書いた本を男の子に
What do
読まれ
you
るの
mean?
嫌
What
が
is
る
that?
もんだけど
What?
いいえ、
That's
スバルくん
crazy.
に隠し事はしません。
そうか
Aww.
どれどれこれはレムの本か
はい、レムの本です。
姉様のは
間に合いませんでした。
She didn't
通り過
finish
ぎ
in
て
time.
安心するぜ
That's funny. Missed the deadline and posing.
レムの書いた本読ませてタイトルはレムの英雄譚
Tales of RM Zero. And is it Subaru doing the pose? It is!
前向きなところが素敵です。
Oh
ス
my
バルくんは
god.
すぐ花瓶を割っちゃい
Wow.
ます。でも素敵です。スバルくんの乱れた髪の毛
Why
が
would
好きです
people want to read this?
声が好きですスバル君の指が好きです
That's
スバル君の寝顔が
so
好きです読んでて照れるというか恥ずかしいなんでこんな内容なんだ
スバルくんが自分のことを嫌いだってそう言うなら
Aww.
スバルくんのいいところがこんなにあるって
That's so
レムが知ってるってことを知ってほ
sweet.
しくなったんです。
それを本にして世界中に広めようとしなくてもいいよね。内容も脚色どころかかなりドリーム入ってるし。
スバル君は自分のことしか知らない。レムが
Now everyone will know about you.
どれだけ知ってるんですか？
でもこことか絶対レムさん知りません
What?
よ。
I'll have to pause this.
知ってらっしゃる。
You do
こ
know.
んなレムの愛情たっぷりな本、いや嬉しいけどさ。
Aw, so
どれくらい
sweet.
売れたの？ゼ
None.
ロだな。
From
当たり
zero.
前だけどさ。
ここから始めましょう。
Let us start here from zero.
いい言葉
That's really
すごい
funny.
勢いでなってる気がするぞおい。
風帰るよ。
Oh shit, she's playing a game. Empathetically
なんだか
ruining a great line.
私の地位がすごく揺らいだ気がする。
That's funny. Your precision. So they were aware when they were creating this. All the way Subaru folds his underwear when he's done. What? When something good happens when the smell is too strong. What? Oh my goodness. That is crazy. This is absolutely concerning. It's Comic Head, Japan's own anime con. This is a really funny play on the concept of this episode that this would have aired alongside, where, you know, they have this really nice heart-to-heart, and Rem helps to convince Subaru that he's worth it, basically, that he is all these great things, and that he is truly special. And then, you know, they do the whole return from zero thing and all that. It's a really nice callback, and it's really nice parody of that, where we get that in a less serious setting, and we get that in a kind of jokey setting. But yes, as True Flying Eagle here has said, this is probably the most concerning Rem has ever been. This is really honestly questionable why she would write a whole book about this and publish it. Like, who published this book? Or did she somehow self-publish it? Who knows? But yeah, terrifying stuff here, Rem. I don't know what to think about you. You're very scary in this timeline. I hope that the next episode you're less scary with knowing the ways that Subaru folds his underwear and stuff. But yeah, this was a really fun one. I love the themes that we're getting in these little Petite times. I hope that they continue to be as fun as they have been. But yeah, let's move on to the next one and see what we get. Oh my goodness. Why does Elsa have her own stand? Otto, Krush, and Elsa, of course. Oh my god, and I've just realized as well, Elsa's selling like earrings or charms or something, and it's all like organs because she's the bile hunter. That's really, really funny. There's lungs, there's like intestines, I guess. There's kidneys. Yeah, there's just about everything here. That's really, really funny. Let's see what Otto, Krush, and Elsa have to say here. Let's go.
クルシュさんだ。
It's Krush.
勉強になる。世の人々はこのようなものが好き
I
なの。
love Krush's voice.
そんな
Biles.
気持ちでここに来てる人初めて見た。
リプチその
Sanahachi.
で、収穫は？
Learned
私
anything?
に親しい
The
者
day
た
of
ち
the
はとても
battle.
大衆受けが良いということが分かった。
猫耳男の子に渋いひげの老紳士だからな。好きな人にはたまらないだろう。
そういう目で見たことがないのでな。
それでいいんだよ。変にどうだ？
Yeah,
俺が
like,
とか言われて
who
も
are they
困る
to you in
し
this world
ちなみ
line?
に目つきの鋭いジャージ萌えというジャンルは
In tracksuit. You know what tracksuit
知って
is?
ます知ってますんで。
That's nice.
やかましいな。
Oh my god, she's
誰
back.
かと思えばグブツがおるわ。
Is that her thing? Wow, I thought I heard some losers over
開い
here.
ておると聞いた。ならばわらわが物見湯さんに足を運んでもおかしくはあるまい。
Spectacle. What?
会話にならねえ。保護者のあるは
Dreams
どこ行
about
った
the
んだ
green pepper
あれ
song?
は入り口で
Pebble?
危険物だかわいせつ物だか言われて足止めされたのでな。
Or something.
来た。それにしてもここにいる凡族どもは皆
よーしストッ
They're
プ。
so-
世のお友達が傷つくこと言っちゃいそうだから発言禁止。
You're not allowed to open your
さらに
mouth.
発言を禁ずる権利などない。ここにいる者どもはなかなか面白い。妄想を書物にして
Wow, we really just don't want Priscilla to talk, do we?
珍奇な格好をしている者、さまざまなボングが情熱という名のもとに
You're the one who looks out of place here, Priscilla.
気づいておる。さすがのわらわも少しだけ驚いたぞ。
思ったより、あいや、かなり前向きな評価で驚いたぜ。
わらわを誰と心得る？三千世界に比べるものなき好奇にして思考の
Of course you are.
じゃぞ。
すげえカリスマ。
さて、わらわはこれからあちらの会場に行くとするか。
Go to the side right over there.
あっち
It's
は俺の
crap.
的にアウトなものがいっぱい。 クリシラ
What?
あっちに行っても何もないぞ。
嘘だな。
そこ指摘いります？俺も本当は見たいけど見ちゃいけないものがたくさんあって。
What are you talking
見て
about?
いいものかどうかはわらわの目で判断する。
Like body
俺
pillows?
には止めることができない。
Porn?
何地面に突っ伏しておる。
え？
貴様もついてくるに決まっていよう。
いやいや俺は行かねえよって。
Why?
お前片手で俺を
Bring out.
おいあと周りの連中もそれを嬉しそうに写真撮るんじゃね
この本にあるおねっとは
Wow.
何じゃ？
え。知らねえ。
嘘だな。
What was that? Shota? Like SH something TA? What is that? I don't know what that is. Mostly anime porn or close to it. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that because, yeah, I've clearly never been to a con like this and I have no idea what would be shown here. what they have at cons like this. Like, is that shit allowed? Like, I have no idea. Male on male romance popular with women. Ah, interesting. I thought that was just yaoi based on my knowledge from that one episode of South Park. This was another little silly little one. I love that we're getting 2 episodes in each location. So this was 2 episodes in the con, and you know, we kind of stay with the characters that are relevant for the episode. Lately, you know, Krush was very central for this episode that this aired alongside with the start of the battle and everything. So, you know, going forward, like, who are we going to see? Are we going to see Wilhelm in the next one? Are we going to see Petalgoose incoming or something like that? Like, I'm interested to see what comes next because these have been really fun and I'm sure we could get some really interesting and fun dynamics out of this. And yeah, Priscilla always showing up and just being an absolute menace. That's her whole thing here in these, so it's always fun to see play out. Yeah, let's move on and see what we get in the next one. Oh shit, it's the beach episode!
これフラグじゃね？
This is a flag, isn't it? Red flag!
そんなに見つめてどうかしたか？
Yeah, why are we
クリシさん
staring?
の水着ってかっこいいな。
Really cool swimsuit?
そうか。水着姿に適した表現ではないが、率直で耳に馴染むな。
素直で口差がないのは
Oh, look at
素晴らしい魅
Ram!
力ですから。
レムってお
So
お
cute.
レムの水着姿も破壊力抜群。鬼がかってるぜ。
そんなお嫁さんにしたいなんて照れ
Oh my god, don't say you want to marry me, it's embarrassing.
でも
She's such... I love Ram's voice and Krish's voice, like 2 of the best voices in this
エミリア
series.
様とレムだけにするべきです。
Side by side here.
何？
本当にケイラは仲が良いなと思ってな。
Absolutely we are.
とても仲良しです。
そうどう
Why has it just got Ram written at the very top?
だが、
This whole thing. Is that what's written on her top?
それよりせっかくですからスイカ
Split a watermelon.
たくさんできるようにいっぱい持ってきました
Holy shit, that's not
相
one.
変わらずレムさん頼もしい。
She carried all of them.
クリシさん右だ右。
そんな虚言に私は騙されない。よもやケイは忘れているのか。
Oh shit, she can sense lies.
こっちの世界でも風見の加護が？
私は目をつぶっていてもスイカの位置がなんとなくわかる。
加護関係なかった。
Divine protection. Oh no! She missed. Oh, she got
1
it.
回目をなかったことにしたよね。
お見事です。でもレムも負けませんよ。
Oh my god, look at that. It's literally colored in like a watermelon.
お手にお持ちなのは。
スイカ割り
It's
用
not
で
gonna
す。
split it, it's gonna splatter it.
はい、スイカ割り用です。
Smash.
粉々だ。
Pulverized. That's a good word for it. Anastasia.
これやったら売り物にならんやん。
You're gonna sell it.
割ったスイカ
But it was ours.
お前が売ってるんだ。
Ah, she picked it up and sold it. That's funny.
美女が割ったスイカ100円なんてやったりしてへんよ。
Buy a pretty
ケイの
girl.
発言。嘘の風が吹いているぞ。
さすが嘘を見破る力は健在ってわけ
What's
や
a
ね。
lie? Where is the lie?
いや、これ加護とか関係なく 100% バレる嘘だろ。
Divine protection or not? Wait, what does it say at the top there? Watermelon split by a pretty girl 100 yen. Oh, she said it ain't like I'm selling watermelon split by a pretty girl for 100 yen. I thought she said she was. This was a nice little beach episode. I expect we're going to get the next one being another beach episode. I don't know if watermelon smashes are kind of like a common thing in these. I honestly have no idea. The only like... I feel like I've not really seen any anime that have beach episodes besides, you know, that one... The start of that one episode of JJK season 2 where, you know, they bring I can't even remember her name, but is it like Ruka or something? No, it's not Ruka. I can't remember. You know, Gojo, Ghetto, and like it's the flashback episode where they go to the beach and everything. And then also, I guess you could say Attack on Titan, end of season 3 when Eren is pointing there on a beach. So that's about as far as my time with beach episodes in anime has goes. So I really don't know the tropes. I don't know what generally happens in them, but yeah, this is a fun one. I love seeing characters be silly and goofy, and yeah, I love seeing that they can be themselves here, and I feel like these Petite times have been kind of showcasing more the actual characters that they are, rather than like the first handful where it almost felt like they were completely different characters. I love seeing that, you know, we're kind of seeing them as they are in the series now. And yeah, that absolute watermelon pulverization was bonkers. Yeah, pure fun. Love this. Anastasia, of course, you know, doing what she has to do to make her money. You know, she'll do what she has to, I guess, is her whole thing. But yeah, I guess we should move on to the next one and see what we get in this next Petite time. Don't know what number this is going to be. Let me see. This will be Petite time number 10. Let's see what we get in this next one. Here we go. Another beach episode. What? We're buried. Who buried us? Who was it? Emilia? Just resisting desires of the flesh. Ram!
ラム、これどういうことだ。
どうって見たまんまよ。
見たまんま。
How it
俺この
looks.
状況だと何も見えねえんですけど。
I love her big sunglasses.
理解できたよ。
それが理解できているなら十分よ。
てかこれ全然身動き取れねえじゃねえか。なんでこんな嫌がらせよ。
違うのよ。
Emilia!
エミリアタン？
これはスバルが日焼けしたまま寝ちゃってて。
You were tanning and I fell
ママ
asleep.
寝ちゃってたのか。
そうなの。だからラムが。
So Ram covered you so you didn't burn? That's funny.
選択肢はなかったんですかね。しかもこれだと顔だけ真っ黒になっちゃうんですけど。ラム確信犯だな。
まさかそんなつもりはまるでなかったわ。
Can we trust her?
悪気がなかったみたいだし。
Yes, she did.
少しは疑うことを覚えよう。
Yeah, you need to understand Ram's true intentions.
そろそろ何とかしてくれると嬉しいんだけど。
そうね。ラムも手伝って。はい、エミリア様。本当に気づかなくてごめんね。
Are you sorry?
謝る必要はないよ。それもこれもラムが。
It was all because Ram.
何かしら。
Ram what?
お前が。
曇りなき眼で今の状況を凝視してごらんなさい。
あ、何を言って。
Yep, look at it without. Oh my god.
バルス、それもこれもラムが。
それもこれもラムさん。
You have to thank me for this.
一生ついていくっす。
Oh my god. It's just on the screen.
なんでもないよ、エミリアさん。
Sanji moment?
スバル、鼻血が出てるわよ。怪我、病気。
ああ、いや、これは生理的なあれでして。
エミリア様、バルスはエミリア様の胸を凝視していて性的に興奮してしまったのです。
それ、この状況でバラします。
That's
バルスの
crazy.
バカ面が見るに耐えないからよ。
何か罠があると思ったけど。エミリアさん、いや別に大意はないんだ。誤解っていうかなんていうか。
もう本当に心配しちゃうんだから。
Don't worry me like
スバ
that.
ルが怪我とか病気じゃないならいいの。
EMT。
どうして鼻血とか出てるかはわからないけど。ここまでエミリア様がお子様だとバルスも大変ね。
ハードルは高ければ高い方が。
Look at his face. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That tan is insane. He's got the tan in his face and nowhere else. All the way down to his neck, rather, actually. Ram's sarcastic and secretly the wing woman the entire time. Absolutely. Yeah, someone needs to bonk Subaru for sure. Someone get the hammer out. Ram is so funny, but also like, I feel like she always takes these situations and twists them to her own, to make herself look as good as possible. So I don't know if she was intentionally the wing woman here, but she definitely did help Subaru look past the situation where she was blaming Ram for all of this stuff. So, you know, Ram got out of this almost scot-free here. I think it's also cool seeing bottom right here that there's two color shells, a red one and a blue one, Ram and Ram. It's I don't really want to pause on that one scene. I don't want to look like I'm creeping, but yeah, this was another fun one. I don't know what other word I can use for these but fun. Like, I know I'm saying the word fun an awful lot in these, but that's exactly what this is. It's just like pure fun. Like, it's not to be taken seriously. It's just like silly little goofs and silly little gas, and getting to hang out with our characters in silly situations that they would never actually hang out in, because, you know, they're in a fantasy world, whereas this is kind of like real world-esque. Also, seeing Ram with these big, huge, oversized sunglasses on her head is really funny, and I think that that's cool because it's the sunglasses rather than, you know, the normal headpiece that she has on. And, you know, if she didn't have the sunglasses on, her head would look a little strange, because, you know, she wouldn't have the flowers in her hair or anything, because she's not in her maid gown, she's not her maid garb rather. Per Subaru, he's got a tan face and nothing else. But yeah, I think we should move on to the next one and see what we get. Now that we finished the beach episode, where are we going to go next for these last 4? Oh, not the store. Yeah, we're gonna get isekai. Last time we were in the store. Oh no. That and omitted at checkout. What's omitted? Absolutely. That's exactly the right response.
予想通りとはいえ、全く迷いのないその発言にさすがの俺もドン引きよ。
Is that cigarettes behind the counter?
何が欲しい？
普通にコーラ買いに来ただけだよ。
ああ、炭酸うちも好きやな。
Are you gonna buy Dr. Pepper? Donkey Kong Pepper?
これが最高やね。
わかる、すごいわかる。
そういえば、今ホットスナック全品 10% オフやったか
Oh
も。
shit.
マジ？じゃあフライドチキンください。
内緒やけど、今ホットスナックとおにぎりをセットで買うと30円引きなるんや。は、おにぎり
30 yen.
新発売のこれおすすめや。いつも
Wow, she's really selling us.
なるんやけど、たまたま
Is this the episode where she tricks us into
それ
talking?
も買うか。
あと800円以上買うと店内でくじ引きできるよ。
Actually, it can't be.
ここ
We
だ
were
けの
past
話
that point.
当たりが多いから引かんとそうやね。
スナックのコンポタージュ足しとくか。
しょっぱいものには甘いもん。その魔力
Holy shit, this is
ソフトクリームなんてどう？
crazy
ほんまやよ。
selling.
あれもこれもそれもどれも。
Oh my god.
俺は
100,000 yen. Is that a PlayStation 4?
払ってもらわな
That's a PS4.
お客様。
と言ってもそんな金ねえよ。
ここがコンビニという
Oh my god, it's Priscilla.
まためんどくさいのが。
ボンプが生意気に爆買いしておるな。
いや、気がついたらこうなってたんだよ。
うちの店はええもんぞろいやもん。違いがわかる人ほど買わずにおれんのよ。
Yep.
そう
Can't
いう
help buying
もんか
shit
まあ
that they don't even need.
その口車にあえて乗ってやる。この店のものすべてわらわに
Everything.
すべて？
外に車と小遣いがおる。早々に積み込め。
Of
ル
course.
ーズは許さぬぞ。
ほらほらお兄さんどいてね。
Anastasia.
え、商品？もうお兄さんに売るもんないわ。このお姫様が買ってくれるんやもん。ほら、どいてどいて。
That's
せめて
funny.
コーラだけでも
Not even the cola.
存在すら。
Pretend he doesn't exist. Not even the cola. Like, she couldn't leave a cola for us. 7-Eleven time, and yes, those are cigarettes behind. Okay, I gotcha. This ice cream and, like, all this food up here looks really good. I could really go for some food right now. The more I talk and the more I stream, the more hungry I get. And it's, like, not even 3 p.m., so I'm not even that hungry. Well, I shouldn't even be that hungry, but I find that, like, when I stream longer streams like this and when I'm talking a lot, I get really hungry really fast. I don't know why. And I guess like seeing food in this series as well just makes me even hungrier. Not really a whole lot to talk about here. Apart from, you know, it's kind of building on the fact that Anastasia is a really great saleswoman. She could sell, I don't know, whatever that saying is, you know, what's that saying? Like, sell something to a something. That's Anastasia. She's really good at selling things. She's great at getting what she wants. She's really good at finding out what people need and twisting it and making it seem that they've wanted it themselves. You know, like, she's good at manipulating a situation and everything. And this really helped to showcase that, because Subaru did not want or need any of this stuff besides a cola, and he ended up with all of it. Great job to Anastasia. Bad job to Subaru, and I guess Priscilla just spends all the money in the world and buys out this entire store. Like, what can Anastasia even do now? Can she even keep her store open when she's got nothing to sell? Who knows? But yeah, let's move on to the next one, see what we get. We're back at the store. Emilia this time.
リプチ、その12。
Petit.
どうしたの？
Buy it.
こっちをじーっと見て。
いや いい。コンビニに来たら店員がエミリアタンというシチュエーションがいい。
あ、タバコは子供が吸っちゃダメよ。
Children should not smoke. This is true.
いや別に
Children shouldn't drink as well. That's what you told us in Memory
じゃあ
Snow.
ソフトクリーム？
Soft serve ice cream.
エミリアタンがソフトクリームをくるくる回して作る姿
She
とか
thinks we're a child.
すごくいやらしい顔してる。
そんなことないよ。
Absolutely.
よし、ソフトクリームでエミリアタンにソフトクリームをくるくるしてほしい。
わかった。
Some soft serve for the baby.
待ってて、奥で作ってくるから。
ああ、そうだった。このコンビニは奥で作るんだった。
店長、レジお願いします。
Oh, who's it gonna be? Puck!
僕です。
おいおい、盲導犬以外の動物
Puck is just the boss anywhere he goes.
店長に失礼だな君は。
俺の知ってるコンビニでは猫が店長なんて許されないんです。
He's not a cat. He's a
君をくれてるね。
なんで
great
そんなピン
spirit.
ポイントで詳しいの？
それより他に何か買わないのかい？
そうだな。
Will that be it? It's basically what Puck just said.
僕もちょうどお腹が空いててさ、何か買って僕に分けてくれると嬉しいな。
Wow, you're the manager and you ask other people to buy you
店
things?
的には売り上げも欲しいし、僕的には何か分けて欲しいし。
Eh?
本当に我が物顔。
Oh my goodness, you ate our whole meow meow omelet. Now you're asking us to buy fried chicken to share with you?
直接脳内に。
はい、お待たせしました。で、店長もスバルもどうしたの？
スバルがフライドチキン買って僕に
No, he did not say that.
出ねえよ。
いいのかい？
Oh, he's gonna chop your head
スバルが
off.
買ったものを僕たちに分け与え
I'll let you
という
live.
ことは今リアが作ったソフトクリームをリアに食べさせることも可能ということだ。
まさかエミリアがソフトクリームを。
That's
そういうこと
crazy.
だよ。
なんか
Why are these getting so creepy?
そんなことないよ。よし、パック店長、エミリアタン、今日は俺が食べたいものをおごるよ。
フライドチキン100個ください。
100 pieces? Wow, look at that.
なることがあるの？
The pose. Wait, did she say please buy 100 pieces of fried chicken? That's really funny. This one was funny. You know, a little creepy. Not exactly my favorite, but you know, Puck and Amelia with Subaru. That's the dream team right there. You haven't tried Japanese soft ice cream, but you tasted Japanese shaved ice. It was amazing, good strawberry shaved ice, nice. I've had like Rita's ice, whatever that's called, like shaved ice, flavored ice, and it's nice. Ice cream and fried chicken, of course. I want fried chicken. I haven't had fried chicken in a while, and this is just making me want some. So let's move on to the next one. Not really a lot to talk about this one, apart from, you know, some weird creepy shit happening between Puck and Subaru with their conversations and stuff. But yeah, Puck, always greedy, always wanting what Subaru has, and I think that's really funny. So let's move on and see what we get in this next one. New location time? Library?
いらっしゃいませがそんな言い回しに。
Or is it a bookstore?
その13。
Beatrice works at Barnes & Noble.
ベア
What?
コが本屋の店員って似合いすぎ。
Vehicle. The book on the Lion King saw. What?
俺は本屋でダラダラ欲しいものを探して悩むのが好きな男。
Absolutely, just look.
オーラなどには屈さない。
I love doing that shit too. I like to take my
チラ
time.
チラ見てうろうろするつもり。
No, that's what we're gonna
いやらし
do.
い本などないからちょっと諦めて帰るかしら。
俺って一体どんなイメージ？こんな爽やか純情ダイナマイト捕まえて。
Pure dynamite guy.
今日からそんな輩を
Is that
うちのメスで
ReZero on the
アルバイ
left?
トを雇ったかしら。
Like right by the
まさかのこと
counter?
か真実は私と共に。
The truth is with me.
さあ、なんか嘘判定キャラとして登場しすぎじゃないですか？
この娘にかかればお前がいやらしい本の表紙をチラチラ見ながら、だ
Oh.
からといって買う勇気もなくうろうろしようとしてたかどうかわかるのよ。
シチュエーションが限定的だぞ。
Oh, what's Krish gonna
は
say?
ないが
Tell us we
これも仕事
won't.
なのでな。
Tell us we
やら
won't.
せてもらう。
I want to trust
そんなキャ
Subaru.
ラがここに来ておかしいことに。
私が強気な自分でいられるのはもはやここしかないのだ。許せ。
そういうことかしら。この男の真の心を読んでおやりなさいなのよ。
承知した。
Subaru with a big sweat dripping down his
その
cheek.
気温って流行ってる。
見えた。K はそういう気持ちで今日本屋に来た。
Hell yeah, thank you.
かしら。
I'm glad Subaru isn't that kind of
俺
guy.
はいやらしい本の表紙をチラチラ見に来るために本屋に長居したりしねえんだよ。
それは嘘だな。今回はそうでなかっただけで、そういう目的で本屋に来ることもあるよ。
Sometimes. Oh no.
ちゃんと用
Oh
事があって
no.
さっさと帰るのよ。
わかった
Subaru
買うよ、もう買うよ。 俺が買いたいのはこれだ
It's ReZero!
これは
That's
MF 文
so
庫 J から出てい
funny.
る小説リ
MF
から始める
Bunko J
異世界生活俺はこれを買いに来たんだ
That's really
宣
funny.
伝臭い言い方かし
A shameless plug.
このリゼロから始める異世界生活は小説だけでなくコミックスやアニメでも絶賛展
A
開されている
manga
んだ
and
ぜ
an anime
やけ
too.
に宣伝臭いもん覚
主人公がちょっとテンション高くて少しあれだと感
A
じ
bit
ることもある
annoying at
含め
times.
て気がついたらハマっちゃうくらい面白いんだぜ
Hell yeah, you do get sucked in. I didn't find you
傷つ
annoying.
いているようだ。
そう
I was disappointed in you
異
though.
世界生活は夏木すばるが自信を持っておすすめする一冊
Confidently recommends.
嘘は言っていないようだ。
Wow, that was crazy. I was not expecting that. I thought that the books that it's showing, like, you know, on the left side, close to the counter, were ReZero. But if anyone knows what any of the other things are in the background, if they're references or anything like that, be sure to let me know, because I'd love to learn what's actually being shown here. I wasn't expecting an actual shameless plug for ReZero right at the end there, but it was very funny, and I appreciate it because, you know, who doesn't love a good shameless plug? This was a really cool one. I love that they took time to be like, yep, there's a novel series, there's a manga series, and there's an anime series. Does the manga series follow the light novel series exactly, or does it also like skip around and miss a couple of things from the light novel series? If the manga series shows, like, does everything, maybe I'd be more inclined to read it. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. We have one more left, I think, so this will be the last one. Very, very fun set of little shorts here within this video, so let's see what we get in this final one. The manga follows the novels a bit more closely than the anime, but it's way, way behind. Even parts that have been animated haven't been finished in the manga yet, really. I guess that makes sense. You know, manga does release really, really slowly in the West. I don't know why. It's so slow. Like, it's manga in Japan is released a whole year, maybe more, before it's ever released in the West. But yeah, let's check out the next one, the final one. These have been really fun, and yeah, let's see. Back in a bookstore. That's all this promotion is about. That's funny. We're selling more ReZero. DVDs and Blu-rays go on sale. Hell yeah.
店長もすごく張り切ってた
Puck.
のね
猫の手も猫の手が一番動いてたもんな
Meow meow DVDs, I
スバル
guess.
君約束通り買いに来ましたよ
Yay.
バルス早くプレゼント用に
Gift wrap.
レムラム
I'm Beatrice.
やったのよ
Everyone is here.
ところでバルス予約していたものはちゃんと用意できているの
What did you order?
任せておけここにちゃんと
What the
こ
hell?
の世界にも出てくるの
Why?
でも
What have he
死ぬことについ
done?
て何も言ってないのに
Hey. Wow. Here to buy
世界
ReZero.
生活ブルーレイディスク
That's so
毎回
funny.
豪華な特典がいっぱいついてます
Wow, they're repeating the sound effect. I didn't think we would hear the sound effect. They saved it for the very end.
てかレジにお金置
We
いて
left money. Even the Witch of Ambi is here to buy it. That's so funny.
スバルどうしたのあらここにお金が
ブルーレイの代
We thought we were gonna die.
払っていったよ
いつの間にどうしよう私ありがとうございましたって言ってない
What's that awful smell?
支払い
Payment of the
レ
witch.
ム拾いにくい独り言やめて
でラムのブルーレイはどこに
Where
あ
are
る
your
のかしら
Blu-rays?
はいはい
Plural.
ラムにロズッチ用と合わせて2枚レムに1枚ベアコに1枚
あー okay,
そして
so-
ミリアタに
okay.
1枚で俺の分がね多めに取っておいたのに
Oh no, did the witch
スバ
take
ルが
it?
休憩している間に
売りさばいた僕で
No! You're the worst manager, Puck. How can you do
待
this?
つことだね
A reseal?
これは
Damn, life is
誰で
cruel,
やり
isn't it?
直すしか
Start
や
over?
っているのかわからないけど
From zero?
今から
Oh shit!
見ればいいと思うの
The ending and everything? Hell yeah.
スバル君と一緒に見たいです
Yeah, let's rewatch season 1 all over
一緒
again.
に見てるとするわ
しぶしぶなのよしぶしぶ
This is a really nice one to end off
お店を閉
on.
めたらみんなで一緒に鑑賞しようじゃないか
おお
ただこの DVD ブルーレイを権利者の方々にそして賃貸
Oh no, they're on to me. They know how I watched season 1. One Piece popping up yet again. I can't believe they're on to me. How do they know that season 1 wasn't watched through Crunchyroll? The haunted OST, yeah. And this was that the sound effect is just so funny to me because like I don't know, it makes me laugh every time, and like I can't help but like imitate it every time. This was the perfect one to end off on. This was such a fun one, showcasing the whole like celebration of the series. Like this is what this stream that I've been doing today, this video, if you're watching on YouTube, this is what this video was about. I wanted to stream today as kind of like a celebration of this series. You know, I wanted this to be a day where, you know, I just like watch these little shorts and just celebrate it and, you know, just have a great time, because I loved season 1 so much. Season 1 was incredible. It was so well written. The characters were amazing. And I guess, yeah, now like I guess I'll shut the thing off and I guess talk about season 1, I guess. Like maybe that's what I'll do now. Feel free to ask questions if you're in the Twitch chat. If you're in the comment section on YouTube, ask questions as well. I'll reply to the comments and give my responses. As for ReZero season 1, this was an incredible series. The from beginning to end, I had no doubt whatsoever that I had fallen in love with the world, with the characters, with the world, and everything like that. And there was so much incredible writing, like so many moments where I was able to dive into mysteries, think about what I thought was going to come, learn and get revelations about different characters and everything like that. It was an absolute treat for someone like me who loves to theorize and who loves to speculate for these kind of series. And yeah, this is the first time I feel like I was able to really do that with this series, with ReZero. Frieren, another series I've been watching, there's not so much to speculate. It's kind of just telling you a story. There's not so much like theorizing involved. Steins Gate was another one I was able to do that with, but I did check out ReZero first. And you know, Steins Gate and ReZero, both White Fox, both incredible, amazing series that I have now seen the entirety of season 1s at least for both. And both had some of the best writing I've ever seen in anime, some of the most clever like uses of twisting, you know, mysteries and, you know, keeping you interested and everything like that. Who is my favorite character in ReZero and my least favorite character? I don't mean to be boring, but like my favorite character is probably honestly Subaru. I think that as a main character, he really truly carried the story on his back. He kept me interested, kept me so like deeply engrossed in this story. I know that there were points within this that I was disappointed in him. And I know that some of you guys in the comments were saying that like there were points where Subaru like really became a really polarizing character for a lot of people because of the actions he was making and the choices he chose. But for me, that just was me recognizing, okay, he's making these mistakes and he's going to grow, he's going to learn. And I knew that was going to come. So like, I always loved Subaru. I loved his character so much. There are so many other great characters in the series. Like Rem is a great character. Yulia is a great character. Patrash, obviously best girl right there. So many other well-written characters. It's hard to think of them off the top of my head. Wilhelm, of course, so well written and everything, and you know, there's so many other characters that have so much potential. Reinhard, you've got Beatrice and everything like that as well. Yes, also please don't give me spoilers in the comments. You know, I'm loving the series so much that spoilers would really ruin my day for the series, because I do love to theorize. I do love to speculate. And my least favorite character in season 1, also one of my favorites as well, obviously, how could I not mention Betelgeuse? So ominous, so creepy, so everything. Least favorite character though, I would probably have to say, I don't know, it's hard to think of a least favorite. You know, I could say characters like Anastasia and stuff who only use us for information, you know, but even then I understand the value of her character, I understand the writing, so it's not like I dislike her. I guess it's the kind of series where I don't have anyone I hate or I dislike or find to be least favorites. I guess like least favorite characters would be like the old bozo dickheads that were in the room with the candidacy who were talking shit about Amelia and everything like that. Like I didn't like them because they were mean, but they're not really relevant or important characters, so I find it hard to actually count them with that question. But yeah, I guess it's a great point for this series that I can't really name a least favorite. But yeah, the series itself, from beginning to end, like I said, I love this series. I'm surprised that I didn't get spoiled really in anything as I was watching this. I feel like, you know, spoilers sometimes just comment, like there's no avoiding them whatsoever, especially like when you're watching a series or something. YouTube for some reason just decides to pop up spoiler. But thankfully for me, that didn't happen for ReZero. It didn't happen for anything I've actually been checking out recently. I guess my spoiler filter on YouTube has actually been carrying its weight for once. Do I have favorite OST in ReZero? Well, my favorite track as a whole would be like the first ending. I love that first ending song. But in terms of OST, I really love that really creepy OST that played the first time we saw Betelgeuse in the cave. I think it's maybe not one that I would listen to or something, like, you know, it's not one that hypes me up or anything, but I think it was so well constructed with like the bells and everything, and it did a great job of making me feel uneasy, and I think that's exactly what that was trying to do. So that's maybe my favorite OST. At least it's one that I was really impressed by anyway, anytime I would play. If I was to talk about the series, and, you know, like, I expect, like, you know, if you would want to hear, like, my rating for the series, I was debating between two scores. And I'll explain my reasonings for why I was kind of like in my head debating whether I would give it this or the other, and then why I settled on what I did. So I was kind of like in my head thinking, for me, would I give this an 8 or a 9? Not quite a 10 in my opinion, because I feel like, you know, there's still that potential for it to get better. So while yes, this was an amazing season, I don't think it was necessarily a perfect season. There are some things that definitely could have, you know, happened, and, you know, there were some like moments of for me personally, you know, fan service and stuff that I wasn't really a big fan of and stuff. But I was unsure whether I wanted to give this an 8 or a 9, because the reason I was thinking 8 is because I recognize, like I just said, there's a lot more potential for the series, and season 1 felt like it was really setting up for a lot of things to come in the future. And so there were certainly episodes within this season that not a lot was happening. It was very much setting up and very much getting us accustomed to the world, very much getting us accustomed to the way things work and just everything like that. But then, like, the more I thought about it, the more I found it to be unfair that when my enjoyment for the series is probably a 9, that I would give it an 8 just because I think that it's going to get better as it goes on. That to me just seemed unfair. So I did finally settle on a score of a 9 out of 10. My anime list, I have updated it to give it a score of a 9, because I truly believe this is such a near perfect season. It's so incredibly well written. It's got amazing characters, the cast of characters, the voice acting, the OST, everything about it is amazing. There's honestly no doubt in my mind that I will look back at these days with fond memories. I will look back at this series with so much fondness and so much love. And it's honestly hard to think what's going to come next in season 2. And to answer Starry's question here, to give two different answers that contradict each other, I am both ready, because I'm so excited and I'm so ready to just finally get back to ReZero, but I'm not ready because I'm scared about what might come, because I don't know what the direction the series is going to go in. I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm both ready, but I'm not. I'm prepared, but I'm not ready. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be an absolute trip. It's going to be an absolute journey, and I cannot wait for it. I do think there were like some questions in the comments for the final couple episodes, so I'd like to just pull those up. I'm just going to hold my phone up, so if you see me looking down, that's why I'm just reading it. How were my feelings / attachment through the episodes 12 to 17, starting with Subaru's cringy actions in the capital, through 4 episodes of torture until we get Subaru and Rem's one-on-one? That seems to be the stop watching point for many people, either because Subaru is too difficult to watch as an MC, or because they feel the show has developed into torture porn. But others find the long gap really engrossing, with more questions / layers being added and really helping to convey Subaru's anguish. So I'm curious what your character roller coaster was through those episodes on Subaru and the tone of the story. I've already said, like, in this video, that I did get very disappointed in Subaru, but that really just helped me realize that I cared about him so much that I felt disappointed, and I wanted to see him get better. I wanted to see him overcome that. I wanted to see him get past that point where, you know, he was struggling and where he was going through all this and he was making all those terrible decisions. So for me, that stretch of episodes was actually like, I get what you're saying with, like, it's like torture porn, and I did in a way feel that, because Subaru is put through so much in these episodes that I really just felt so defeated, just like he did. Like, if you go back, like, and check out those videos that, like, I posted, I just come out of each video like, like, oh my goodness, like, I just need to see him be happy. I need to see things get better. It was very much like that the entire stretch, that entire run of episodes. But, like, I didn't see it as a negative, because I knew that things were going to get better. I knew that things were going to improve. So I was really definitely enjoying, but not enjoying. Like, I enjoyed that, or I appreciated the writing, rather, that it wasn't afraid to take those risks, and it wasn't afraid to make Subaru a polarizing character. One that even today, I think, like, still comes across polarizing. I'm not entirely sure. But for me, like, that characterization of Subaru was very much necessary, because up until that point with the one-on-one with Rem, he was definitely very selfish, and he sometimes came across, you know, misogynistic and stuff, and he didn't really listen to others. He thought about himself, he thought about what he wanted, and he kind of used what he wanted as a guise, and you know, manipulated situations and kind of said, like, oh, I'm doing this for you and stuff like that, when it's like, no, you're doing this for you, Subaru. And it took a while for him to realize that, and it took a while for him to admit that and get past that point. So I really loved seeing that character pivot point, and those episodes really did a great job of making Subaru vulnerable, and I think that that's really important. I think people dislike that arc, miss the point that they're supposed to feel like he is making bad decisions. Absolutely, he is incredibly flawed and needs to grow from it. He's just a child, and that's really important. He needs to learn and he needs to grow as a character. Like, one thing that kind of like gets annoying, and I think that this, not annoying in this series, annoying in other series, and one thing I love about this series is that it's not afraid to create a flawed main character, a character that needs to grow. A lot of series have the perfect main character from the get-go, and like, while yes, it can be cool following a really badass, cool, overpowered main character, that gets boring after a while, you know? Like, been there, done that. Like, I've seen it a million times. So I think that this series is really special, that it doesn't shy away from that. It tackles that, and I love that so much. I think that that's a great point, that, you know, the series didn't shy away from that. Another question was, in your opinion, in what ways is or isn't ReZero wish fulfillment, power fantasy, or a harem? Isekai is notorious for being all of the above, as an easy sell to people with low self-esteem. ReZero seems to build on subverting those tropes / cliches and calling them out even in the first episode. Subaru expecting to get a sudden magic power, waiting for his beautiful girl that summoned him, but at the same time isn't entirely divorced or shy from those same tropes. And does any of that improve or diminish your enjoyment of the show? Commentary on how you perceive execution as well. As an isekai, it's almost unique, where characters are mostly character who is flawed in the real world is for some reason flawless in this one. Really? Yeah, I'm really not familiar with isekai tropes at all. Like, you know, I do put in the titles for the ReZero reactions first isekai, because I really don't know much about isekai, but I know that there are a lot of particular tropes within isekai. I guess that makes sense, and I think that I'm glad that ReZero doesn't necessarily follow those exact tropes to a T. And like, while yes, I get the complaints that it can seem kind of harem-y, where, you know, Subaru has all these girls that he talks to and that seem to be interested in him in one way or another. And, you know, you've got Rem, you've got Emilia, even Ram, Beatrice, even Krush at one point. It's like, you know, I do have some feelings for you, but, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, it can come across that way, but it didn't ruin my experience whatsoever because it didn't seem to be too important. It just seems to be present. Like, it seems that it's almost there, almost because it has to be for the tropes. Like, it almost feels kind of forced, but it doesn't at the same time. It doesn't feel super important, so it didn't really diminish my enjoyment. It didn't really take away from my enjoyment. I didn't really care all too much. But like in terms of like any fan servicey stuff that happened in the series, I wasn't really a huge fan of, and you know, I definitely could have done without that. I know that it has its audience, but really it's not for me. And so like those moments I really could have done without, and I was just kind of rolling my eyes, and some of them I even cut out of the episodes and stuff, or I would dub over, like I wouldn't show the picture and stuff because I didn't really want to display that on the channel. But yeah, there were certainly moments in this series where I was rolling my eyes and I was like, oh my god. But for the most part, like, those sections are so tiny and so minimal that it didn't really take away from what I thought. It didn't really take away from how I felt. It really just felt like a little like distraction from peak, almost. Like, it was like, we got to go in this direction and do these stupid little bullshit things in order to get to the great things. And yeah, like, I kind of just accepted it after a while. I knew that that's the way the series was. I didn't really care all too much. I know that it was really funny. Like, granted, I've already said I haven't really seen any other isekai. The only other isekai I think I've seen is Hunter x Hunter Greed Island arc, and that's, you know, debatable whether you call it isekai or not because it's within a series that predominantly isn't isekai. But I do think it's really funny that the starting gifts were like a packet of crisps or chips, whatever you want to call them, and like, you know, he didn't have all these typical tropey things, and it was very subversion-esque of what you would expect from an isekai. So I really appreciated that. I thought it was really funny, and I'd love to see the series continue to subvert those tropes and kind of like play into the tropes but put a unique spin on them. I think it is very interesting and unique, and I do think it's really fun. Greed Island is basically isekai, yeah. that's honestly my entire relationship with isekai up until I watched ReZero was Greed Island arc. What do you think the most effective way to use Return by Death in the future of the series will be? Effective way? Like a way that doesn't cause pain? Or a way to avoid a kind of situation? I feel like, you know, I don't like seeing him use Return by Death. It's a terrible thing. It's scary and it's awful. But honestly, Subaru kind of strikes me as the kind of character who will eventually grow out of this, you know, needing Return by Death and everything, because he's very smart. And that's something I give huge credit to and huge props to for Subaru. He is a very intelligent character. He thinks the situations through, he figures things out, and he is very, very smart. So I feel like he's the kind of character who will eventually get to the point where he will surround himself with characters that are strong, who can deal with these situations and get him out of these moments. I think that Return by Death, there's still stuff that we don't know about it. Like, what causes a checkpoint to be created? That's a huge question that I'd love to learn the answer to, because the most effective way to use Return by Death would be to figure out how to create checkpoints so that you can just create a checkpoint. It's basically like a save state. You know, you could just load your save state over and over and over again, literally right before you die or right before something happens. Kind of like a Doctor Strange, hello Dormammu, I'm here to bargain kind of situation. I think that would be a really great way to use Return by Death, but I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know the ramifications for Return by Death. I don't know how it works. The best way to use it is to basically not use it, in my opinion, because I hate seeing Subaru die. I hate seeing all that progress get lost. But I do think that things have to get to a point where characters start to notice weird things, start to learn about Subaru's stuff, and I think that we're going to get to the point where there are characters who maybe know. So I know that like Beatrice has an ability to create like portals and stuff, and so I'm wondering if maybe if she teams up with Subaru, her portal stuff and Subaru's return by death stuff, if there's maybe a way that one or the other can counter the other and kind of make things bigger and better. Like, I really don't know. I'd be curious to see if Return by Death does evolve with the series continuing to evolve, but I'm not really sure how that would happen. Sorry if I didn't really answer your question. I hadn't really thought about like an effective way to use it for the purposes of the story, because I don't know where the story is going, so it's hard to answer that. But I guess it's just gonna have to be Subaru. Once something bad happens, Return by Death has to happen, because we can't lose our characters. We can't lose the people that we know and love. And if something bad happens to Rem, he needs to return by death. If something bad happens to Emilia, he has to return by death. I feel like that's just kind of the only way he can use it at this point. So yeah, I'd love to see him learn to make his own checkpoints so that things don't have to be as bad as that. If he could learn to go back further into previous checkpoints, that could be really great too. And that would be a really effective way potentially to change the narrative of the story. I completely understand why Subaru's mind breaks in several episodes, especially with Pedal Goose and stuff. Subaru is another example that time travel is never a convenience. It is always horror, absolutely. And I think that that's one thing that both Steins Gate and ReZero have in common, and that they're really great at showcasing. It might seem like a great ability, but it's more of a curse than anything. It is truly terrifying. The fact that you are traveling back to a point in time where you can try and fix things or anything, but you have to die for that to be the case with Subaru. Whereas for Okabe Rintaro, someone he loves has to die in order for him to go back to, like, it's terrible, it's awful. And then, the whole point of people not knowing things that happen, people questioning what you're talking about, it's so sad. And yeah, I hate it so much, but at the same time it makes for a really gripping viewing experience, so I love to watch it. It's entertaining. I've been talking for like almost 3.5 hours at this point, so I feel like I'm about ready to wrap this up. I didn't see any more questions in the post. If I missed anything, I will ask or answer them another time. If anyone else has any other questions, feel free to ask them now, but I do think I'm going to wrap this one up. But yeah, please no spoilers. My throat is getting pretty sore from all this talking. Thank you, Sophia. I'm very excited to check out season 2. I've been itching to get to it. Like, I've really enjoyed checking out these other series the past few weeks, but it's going to feel the same like now that there's no more Steins Gate. There's a gaping hole now in my heart. Like, there's something missing. ReZero is now missing. Steins Gate's going to be missing. So I really need to get back to ReZero, sorry. And I'm so excited for season 2. I don't know what's to come. I hope that we get some answers. I hope that we get more mysteries. I hope that we get to fall in love with this world and these characters all over again. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for checking out the stream. If you ever want to check out the stream, I will post a link down below, but it is twitch.tv/Jasmer. I go live every now and then. I do opening reactions, episode ending reactions, just anything I will announce on the community tab on YouTube before I ever go live. I try to update you guys at least a day before I do go live, so there is a bit of time to prepare, if anyone's going to be busy or anything like that. And yeah, thank you again for checking this out. Thank you for all your support across ReZero and across everything. This has been such a fun series to get to know and love, and yeah, it's only been made better by the support of all of you. So yeah, thank you for everything, and I hope that you will be there. Episode 1 of season 2 that will hopefully be coming within the next week. I can't say when because plans change and everything, but I hope that it will be out very soon. So yeah, thank you so much for everything, and I hope that you're able to have a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.